see if he gets through the game.
It's a pretty all-star midfield here for Sandhurst. You've got Dan, you've got Collins, Stagg in there as well. So it's going to be a great tussle in the middle.
No Adam Baird in the starting midfield though for Golden
Square. 2019 elimination final on
there.
Bendigo's Fresh FM. Finals football, doing it for our community to get us underway. Here's Cam Power.
So ball goes up, Chris Down wins the ball down, straight down the throat of Blair Holmes, who gets it and goes straight inside forward 50 for the Dragons. Not really great weather for Bear Thornton, and Will Lee gets it for Golden Square. He's crunched as he went to kick it. Ball spills out for Sandhurst. They'll come back with a looping handball, which will end up with a teammate. They'll send it inside forward 50. It's a high ball, and the defensive mark will be taken for Golden Square. They'll clear to the far side of the ground.
So heavy conditions. The mark taken there by Baird. Got it off to a teammate who just scrubs it along the boundary line. Can they keep it alive? No. The ball's out over the line between wing and half forward for the Dragons on the swimming pool side. There's no scorers yet. We've travelled just 40 seconds in this opening term.
That's the Baird of the Travis variety.
It was. And of course, we'll have a throw in on the outer side, just forward of the wing for the Dragons.
So ball gets thrown in. Skinny Baird had possession of it for Golden Square. He has to go backwards to go forward. Tackle came from Collins. Sandhurst are able to sweat on it, win it back. It comes out to Lockie Zimmer, who puts a little scrubby ball inside forward 50. Might work out okay, though, for Sandhurst. It's picked up by Zach Paul Pratt. Handball back into the congestion. And big Jack Geary bustles his way through, and Golden Square have worked it out wide. Running it down the poolside wing here, Golden Square. They touch the ball on the ground before delivering it down towards Jaden Burke. It just bounced odd for him, so now it's picked up. Great pick up for the Square. They'll go inside forward 50 for the first shot on goal. Bouncing towards goal is a minor score, and unable to convert. The first opportunity of the day is Travis Baird. So Golden Square are behind. Sandhurst yet to score. A minute and a half played. Opening quarter, full on fresh footy thanks to Priority One Property.
Well, they had a bit more time there to straighten up there, Travie.
So the kick in for the Dragons. Rain's just eased for the minute, but we've had a good shower to the ground. Pretty heavy as the Dragons clear it out wide. Down in the marking contest, couldn't hold on to it. Dragons player taken high as he tried to take the crumb. And that was for the Dragons. McLean got a handball off to a runner. Popped in short. Dragons control it at half back. Little toe poke down the line, missed the target. Skinny Baird got in the way, took the footy for the Square, kicked it into the forward pocket. Lovely ball. No mark taken by Trav Baird. The ball falls at his feet and he's surrounded. The umpire's going to come in and toss it up. About 35 out from the Golden Square attacking goal. 2 minutes into the opening quarter. Thanks to Aussie Disposals, Golden Square one behind. The Dragons yet to score.
The ball go up inside forward 50. Down wins the ruck down. Spilling out wide, going through for Sandhurst will be Jake McLean. Sends a high ball out of defence as Jake McLean. Golden Square able to win it back. That's Vaz. Working it forwards, Sandhurst trying to bustle away through. They're going to have to go backwards to come forwards. Bit of a common theme here, and eventually they'll blaze a kick forward and the defensive mark will be taken by Golden Square.
Ball's on the outer wing. Driven back forward for the Square. Almost taking the mark. Jake Paul Pratt spilled off his chest, went out of the over the line, out of bounds. About 40 around from the Golden Square attacking goal as they attack the city end. In this first term, 3 minutes, opening quarter, Golden Square one behind. Heavy conditions, Sandhurst yet to get on the scoreboard.
That rain's starting to come down a little bit heavier again as the ball's inside forward 50. Good wet weather footy. And no one able to take possession of the ball.
Going to be tough to score, Josh.
Not much of a lineup at the ice cream van running.
No, I think the coffee bloke next door's doing okay, but the ice cream bloke's struggling, I think.
Lockie Tarju walking past, of course, would love to be out there for the Sandhurst Footy Club. Knock forward for Golden Square. Burke comes out to it. Couldn't quite take clean possession. It'd be hard to get clean possession in this weather. Diving through would be Vaz. Ben Worm gets it, who's a Bendigo Pioneer teammate of Braden Vaz today, playing against each other. Comes out wide. Rhodey had it for the Dragons. We'll send it in the direction of Zimmer. He couldn't quite pick it up. In there, Golden Square just trying to bustle and hold things up. Adam Baird's got it. He was pushed in by Blair Holmes and will have a ball up. This would be good weather footy for Blair Holmes. He loves these conditions.
What, it's not ideal finals weather. Now the umpire's blowing time because he's tying his shoelace up. The ball's at true centre half forward for Golden Square.
First day of spring.
Yep, and have a look at it. Tossed up. Now down. May have infringed, said the umpire. Gee, I don't think there was much in that. But it's a free kick to Golden Square, and they'll play on quickly. It's a high ball, inside 50. Big leap. Is that a mark to Morecambe? No. Didn't quite hold it. Trying to go off the ground was Baird. That was Travis Baird, and he's given away the free. Who's on the end of it, boys?
Ben Worm that'll have possession of the ball.
So Worm will just chip it in short. Bit dangerous, but he'll get away with it. And the mark taken by Stagg.
Goes short to Stagg, who Stagg has it for the Dragons. Nick Stagg will come wide. We'll find a mark in Blair Holmes. So Holmes has got it for the Dragons.
I reckon he'd love this conditions, wouldn't he?
Absolutely. It's to be the weather. He can just bustle in and make some strong tackling. So Blair Holmes has it. Down the grandstand side wing, Brimsmead minds the mark, but Holmes has sent it down the line, and Matt Compston, happy Father's Day to Matt Compston because he's just taken an easy mark on his own. He'll chip the ball back down the grandstand side wing, this time Brimsmead, but Blair Holmes gets in front, punches it out of bounds. We'll have it throw in.
Great courage.
It's a bit of kick footy at the moment.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough to score while this rain's coming down.
Eddie Compson, the only one to take a mark so far this game.
Golden Square one behind. Sandhurst yet to score. Tossed in. We're 5 minutes in the opening quarter. Ball to ground. Chance for the square here. Barrett tried to work the ball out. He's held up. Can't get out of there. And there's a little bit of push and shove. A little bit of how you going?
A bit of finals footy.
Yes, exactly. We'll have a ball up. Pretty much on the wing on the main grandstand side of the ground. So tossed up. Compston might have had the best of that. Down, then got a second swipe at it, knocked it forward. Can the Dragons work it out? Holmes, kick half smothered, gained about 30 metres, trying to run onto it's Jack Geary. Left it for a teammate who can come off half back and deliver pretty well, although he just overcooked it a little bit. Well done there by Vaz, got the ball forward. And the square hurry it towards the top of the goal square. Trying to go off the ground, Trev Baird. He's well held up though. And now the Dragons, weight and numbers will win out. And they'll just scrub it out towards the boundary. Will the ball stay in? It does initially. Then the player for Sandhurst pressed, tackled over the line. We'll have a throw in.
It's Brad Eaton's third kick-off half-back for Golden Square. Bit of a general back there.
So ball will be thrown back into play. Has missed quite a few games through injury, Brad Eaton, so certainly a welcome inclusion to this Golden Square side. Down got to the drop of the ball first, knocked it down to a teammate who just fired out a handball. Harry Donegan will pick it up. Back in the side after playing in the reserves the last few weeks. Jack Condon will see him across the boundary line and we'll do it all again. So 55 metres from home. It's been predominantly down this end of the ground so far. Down knocks it down. Trying to go through for Golden Square, unable to get a clean possession. Geary picks it up and he's met in a strong tackle. And we'll get a bounce at the top of 50. That tackler there was Nicholas Stagg.
Well, we've got a bit of a scrub on here. I think it's Andy Collins.
Fancy that.
You watch
the boys.
You watch the footy, Ronnie, and I'll watch the fight.
Righto. Well, the ball's at half forward, still for Golden Square. It's not coming out after that throw in.
A couple of ripped shirts.
Boys are still having a bit of a wrestle.
Well, the umpire's right on top of them, so they're not going to do anything silly because the umpire's literally right on
Well, you'd
top
hope
of them.
not, Cameron.
And I think the umpire's
Oh,
found something.
Blood
And is
rule?
that
Blood
blood
rule?
rule? Blood rule, Braden Welsh. Braden Welsh will be coming from the field. Blood rule.
Claret from the schnoz.
He'll be replaced by Zach Shelton, who's wearing Braden Welsh's old number, believe it or not. Used to be number 20.
Righto.
For anyone that cares, he's now number 13.
So we've got a stoppage now. We've got to throw up. It's on 50
On again.
for Golden Square. Trying to bust his way through with Stagg. Geez, it's a big pack around this
Oh.
footy. Bit of heavy work going on. What's going on off the ball, boys?
Yes.
Brad Eaton's copping a couple from the
That was
Sandhurst.
Lockie
Well, it
Ross.
was Lockie Ross.
Lockie Ross just come
hit him from
right
behind. That's
yeah.
probably
That's nearly a send-off because
Yeah, that was pretty average,
should be a yellow card. The umpire was right on top of it
Thrown
too.
up again, down this time, took clean possession, got
They're
a kick
still
back to
wrestling.
where the fight's been going on for the last 5 minutes. Trying to work it out for the Dragons there was Jeremy Roddy, but the boundary umpire
Gone
says
again.
it's gone
pretty
over.
fiery here.
Yeah, it's getting a bit
Harry
out of
Donegan's
hand.
giving away a free kick.
Jed Zimmer's going to take the free, Cameron.
So Zimmer gets the free kick. Draper comes off the interchange bench and nearly tried to smother it, but Zimmer's kicked down the line. Wharton flew high, couldn't quite take the mark, but he won it back at ground level. That was Joel Wharton. Kept it alive, did he, for Rhodey? No, he did not. It'll be out of bounds for a boundary throw in.
I think they must have been watching too much of the boxing last night, some of these blokes. They're a little bit excited. What do you reckon, Josh?
Yeah, a bit fiery early. That's okay.
If your cars are parked near the QEO, be careful as the ball's thrown back into ground. Winning the ball down is Chris Down.
Graffiti artists don't work in the wet, Cameron. It makes the paint run.
Coming out wide, here's a chance for Lockie Humphrey. Into the middle of the ground they go. Defensive side will be Jake Wilkinson. It just didn't sit for him. Going through, good tackling by Burke. Umpire says it is in the back. Wilkinson feeds the handball into the middle of the ground to Rough, and they'll take the advantage. It comes back to Ben Worm.
Oh, look out.
Steps one way, then the other.
Did well, young fella.
Got around Hamish Morecambe with a little bit of ease there, then bangs it towards centre half forward. Defensive mark taken for Golden Square, and that will be in the hands of Zach Shelton.
Spreads it wide out to the swimming pool side at half back. Rain's still falling. It's not quite as heavy as it was. The square work it down that swimming pool wing, up high. That's a good mark. Skinny Baird has taken it. Oh, his kick's not great. Condon got in the way, took the defensive mark for the Dragons. Defensive side of the centre circle. Collins is on his own. That's where he goes. The square defenders get back and make the spoil. Collins comes again, wins the footy, handballs it off to a teammate who was tackled as he got boots of ball. And again, Golden Square will hold them up, this time through Humphrey.
Humphrey sends it wide. That's a good kick, and he's got into a lot of spaces. Jake Thrum. Thrum gets it, has a bounce on the ground, puts the ball to ground, I should say, sends it inside for 50 and laces out Travis Baird, who's on a hard lead, and he'll go back for the first attempt on goal for Golden Square. He kicked their only point so far, Travis Baird, so it'll be their first goal if he can kick it.
Now, Josh, I reckon nothing's a given today in this sort of condition, so even though this is an easy kick, maybe not as easy as it looks.
Very slippery.
Travis Baird, he's only about 15 metres in from the boundary though, so he'll have to kick it nicely.
And
no one on the mark from Sandhurst, and it's been able to go through for a goal. So through for the first goal of the game. He made it look easy, did Travis Baird. And Golden Square are 1-1-7. Sandhurst yet to score. We've played 11 minutes in the first quarter. Finals football, we are doing it for our community thanks to Priority One Property.
Yeah, Brad Eaton's just come off from the bench, got a bit of clarity out of the mouth from that earlier smack around the chops. Travis Baird also coming to the bench after he kicks the goal. It's a bit like AFL, and like we seen last night, it was just you kick the goal, you come straight off.
Have a spell.
Treat yourself to the bench.
That's it. Back in the middle. Umpire, gee, threw that pretty high, the umpire. No, the boys had to wait for it to come down. It was actually hit down by Down. Now, Dragon Zimmer held without it, said the umpire. This is Lockie Zimmer. Defensive side of the wing. Little chip pass is okay. Didn't travel far, but Paul Pratt was in space. That's Jake Paul Pratt. Defensive side of the wing for the Dragons. Golden Square with a 7-point lead, early going. Paul Pratt's kick, long and high. He wants Down. Can't mark. Pretty tough conditions for the big fellas. The ball goes to ground. Maybe pushed in the back was Barrett. The umpire had a good look and said, yep, you're in his back. Drew Barrett will take the free for the Bulldogs. He's defensive side of the wing, still on the greenstand side.
Umpire Scott Baxter there with the decision. Been around Bendigo umpiring for a few years now. Scotty Baxter down the line they go. Hamish Morecambe gets it, sends it forward. Liam Ireland was there, but Jake Thrum just runs straight past him and overtakes him. Ireland did well, though, to force the pressure of Thrum and see it across the boundary line. It'll be thrown in inside forward 50 for the Bulldogs.
Did very well there, Ireland. 3-on-1. Forced it over the line.
So it'll
fantastic effort.
Be thrown back into play. Golden Square looking the goods early in this one. Wet conditions on your Sunday afternoon elimination final. Sandhurst will take the ball out of the clearance and just kick for touch like he was playing rugby, but it's going to be a downfield free kick. Well, it's going to go the way of the Dragons, and that could have nearly been a deliberate because it was like he was looking for touch in a game of rugby, but they get away with one. Ball with Blair Holmes.
You'd hope the umpires would be a bit lenient on that today with the weather conditions. Holmes kick up toward half forward. Plenty of Golden Square defenders at ground level. Brad Eaton got it off to a teammate. Thrum got a poor bounce. Rhodey comes in. Can't control the footy. We've got to throw in.
So Jeremy Rhodey's a pretty exciting young player out of playing Bendigo Pioneers this year.
Yep.
Potential draftee is what I'm hearing. So good to get a look at Jeremy Rhodey this afternoon as the umpire throws the ball back into play. Compston probably had the best of that hit down. Lowry was caught. Trying to send a kick forward was Jake Condon. Couldn't quite control it. That ends out with Stagg. A little soccer ball off the ground from Stagg, and then eventually it's just sent forward for Golden Square. That was Eaton. Downs got it. Handball chopped off by Brimsby, but it still ended up finding its target from Paul Pratt. Ball slipping, sliding around a little bit. Draper will lead back in the race. Good bump contest with Zimmer. In the middle of the ground we go. Players just trying to get their hands on the ball. It'd be like a slippery cape of soap at the moment. And about 70 from home, the ball falls to ground. And well, the umpire's going to call the ball up, despite the fact that the Golden Square player emerged with the ball.
The pressure and the attack on both sides is ferocious. You just hear it just smacking into each other.
You look at Zimmer and Draper in that contest then, Ronnie, they both ran hard at each other and neither one of them pulled out.
No, and I feel for the players in these sort of conditions. It's pretty tough going. The weather really closed in here at the QEO. The rain, it's not heavy at the moment, but it's still raining.
Well, about 45 minutes ago, they would have been thinking it's going to be a beautiful day to play
exactly
footy.
Right. So 1-1-7 Golden Square. Sandhurst still yet to score. Down got a clean hand on that one. Tried to tap it to a teammate. Square will break off half back though. And the kick goes inside the 50. Well done by Ireland. Read that well for the Dragons. Got a handball off to Paul Pratt of the Jake variety. Runs through the middle, and that's a good kick, although his teammate failed to take the mark. Wharton picked it up and kicked it forward and got it to half forward, but it's all golden square back there, and Welsh took the mark.
Welsh goes wide, intended target Draper was good, gets it, feeds off a handball to the runner. That runner there is Liam Barrett. He'll send it inside forward 50 for Trav Baird, but it just wasn't really to his advantage. And Liam Ireland happy to see that kick go across the boundary line and will get a throw in underneath the scoreboard.
Do you reckon the City end's a bit more likely to score? I know the ball's been down there a lot, but the ball seems to be carrying further that way, Josh.
Yeah, you look at Johnny's windsock, it's going down there. It's not a huge win, but it's definitely the scoring end.
So ball thrown into play. Captain Jack Geary winning the toss for Golden Screen did elect to go to that end of the ground. The City end here at the QEO. Who can get a clean possession? No one can really bustle away through it. Eventually comes to Donegan, who flows it on the boot.
Skinny.
Oh,
Sends
good
to
mark.
the top. And Jake, that's a great mark from Adam Skinny Baird. And he will go back and line up for the square second to make it a second Baird on the scoreboard.
He's going to join his brother on the goal tally.
He just read that better than anyone else, didn't he?
Yeah, he
Got back, running with a flight. Really controlled it well, considering how wet it is.
Just protected the ball drop.
Yeah, very
Used
good
his
mark.
hips well. The small hips that they are, but used them well.
So Adam Skinny Baird back in the Golden Square side will come in for goal. 35 out with not much of an angle, and he misses. And it went straight, needed to have a little bit of curl to it. Golden Square 1-2-8, Sandhurst yet to score. We've played 16 minutes in the opening quarter. Full on fresh footy, thanks to Priority One Property.
So Jake Paul Pratt will bring it in. It's been all golden square so far, but they're only 8 points in arrears, even though they haven't scored so far. Geez, funny old kicking by Paul Pratt off the side of the bird a little bit. Thump back inside the 50 for the square. They try a little bit of fancy stuff, doesn't come off. Well read by Collins of Sandhurst, got it to a teammate, chipped it short. Mark taken by Prest, plays on, little dinky one's okay. And the mark is taken by Zimmer.
Zimmer gives the quick handball to Nick Stagg. Stagg will then send it forward, and his opposite, number 8, Mitch Tracy, will be the favourite with that ball, and he will happily see it across the boundary line. The boundary umpires certainly getting their money's worth today.
Yeah, I think everyone's earning their paycheck today. It's pretty tough out there at the moment.
So ball thrown in front of the Sandhurst bench down there. Ash Connick watching on. Ball going into a little bit of a pack here. No one able to really find a way through. Down, couldn't quite get it. Adam Baird tried to break through the tackle. And, well, he did get through the first tackle, got held up in the second, and the umpire says, we'll ball it up.
Pretty much on the wing. Golden Square 1-2-8. Sandhurst yet to score. Finals football. Benny goes Fresh FM, doing it for our community. It's on the wing. Down will be the ruckman for the Dragons. Compston might have had the best of that, knocked it down. The ball, like as Cameron said, very slippery. Andy Collins got a little toe poke to it, didn't travel far. Tried to get it to the advantage of the teammate. Trying to keep it alive was Hamish Morecambe of Golden Square. He tapped it along the line, but eventually it went over. So another throw in, right in front of our broadcast position, just forward of the wing for the Bulldogs.
The ball will be thrown into play. Down in Compton is a really exciting battle. Compton won that one. Sent it forward. And a push in the back against Jack Geary. He's going to go the way of Sandhurst. So that player with possession is Alex Wharton. So Alex Wharton has it.
Wasn't much in that, was there, Josh?
Attacking side of 50 for the Dragons. Alex Wharton will send it down the grandstand side wing. Who can get a fly at it? It comes to ground. Zimmer read it. He was caught in the tackle and he was caught too high. So Jed Zimmer's going to receive a free kick. In fact, it's going to Hamish Morecambe.
Yes,
Yeah.
too high.
I thought Zimmer was the one that caught high, but Morecambe gets it. He sends it forward. Baird couldn't quite take the mark. As a result, Alex Wharton got it, sent it forward for Sandhurst. Mark taken by Liam Ireland. In fact, sorry, it's actually Lockie Ross.
So Lockie Ross for the Dragons, pretty much in the middle. Very short ball. Mark taken by Joel Wharton. As my great commentator, co-commentator Jock Clark says, skinny Wharton, and he is skinny. I don't know much about being skinny. He goes back in short, Lockie Ross. I think I was skinny in about 1972 or something, Josh. Taken by Ross.
feel ya.
He goes up toward, you got nothing to worry about. Goes up toward half forward, and Collins has got it, but he's 50 from home. Geez, it'll take something special from there in this sort of weather.
He went into the wind too.
Yeah. So let's see if he can find a target. He's gesturing to his teammates. Tries to spear it short. It was a good kick. Did Down hold the mark?
Yeah.
The umpire said he did.
It's had it long enough.
Gee, I don't know about that. He was a little bit lucky.
He had the grab and then just sort of fell.
He plays on, he handballs off. Jake McLean kicks the opening goal for the Dragons. So that tightens it up at the 20-minute mark of the opening quarter. Thanks to Aussie Disposals, Golden Square 1-2-8. The Sandhurst Dragons now 1 straight 6. And that is thanks to Priority One Property.
I thought he had enough of it there just to take that mark. I think he clutched it at first and then sort of slipped through his hands, 1-2 tap, and then got knocked out of his hands. But I think he had enough of it.
I reckon that rain's got heavier.
They'll take it.
Little bit of Marcel Marceau stuff going on in the box here. What are you doing, you blokes?
So the ball will go back into the middle of the ground.
Cameron's trying to tell me how to do my job.
So down, wins it down. Who can try and get forward for Sandhurst? In there was Thrum. As the rain's starting to come down, you can hear it in our special effects mic now. Who
It's
can
pouring,
try and
Cameron.
break forward?
It's absolutely peeing down.
It's raining cats and dogs, I guess you could say, as the ball comes out. Thrum had it, then lost it. In there was no one able to really get a clean possession. It's just socket forward off the ground, but it's going to come straight back in from Blair Holmes. Holmes sends it inside forward 50, and now it spills to the back. Here's a chance for Wharton. He got it. Couldn't quite get it. Lockie Ross is in there. He's taken the ground. It spills out. Thrum dropped it. It's just socket towards the boundary line for Golden Square. Sandhurst will get it. They'll centre the ball back, and the mark will be taken by
spilled
Stagg.
it.
Oh, he's dropped it. Who said the ball's like a cake of soap. Trying to bustle away through was Paul
Holding
Pratt,
the ball.
and he was caught holding the ball because he didn't dispose of it
Oh,
correctly.
hang on a minute.
No, he's
He
going to
called
get the
here.
free, I
He's
think.
going to get a free kick. Must have been being held.
Umpire said he got rid of it. I don't know how he got rid of it and then was held.
So Paul Pratt goes in. Kick came off hands, but it finds its way to a Sandhurst player who will fire on goal and go for goal and put it through. Fantastic goal. It's Jed Zimmer.
I think it was Paul Pratt, wasn't it? Jake Paul Pratt?
Oh, I thought it was Zimmer, but hey, I stand to be corrected.
Either way,
Either way, it's a goal.
Just slipped through both hands.
wet conditions here at the QEO. Sandhurst have got their second goal. They're 2 straight 12. Golden Square 1-2-8. We've played 22 minutes in the opening quarter. Doing it for our community thanks to Holden, Colorado at Poyser Holden.
Slipped through both hands with 2 or 3 touches, or 2 or 3 players there touched the ball and ended up in, well, what I thought was Jed Zimmer's hands and snuck it through.
Well, it's a Dragons goal, so we'll give it to Zimmer as the ruck contest is completed. Roddy will come out of the middle, handballs off. Alex Wharton hurries one, didn't gain much territory. Holmes threw it on the left boot, got it to half forward in pouring rain. Golden Square, they repel, although the kick cut off. And it's Skinny Wharton, I reckon, out there who's taken the mark and wants 50.
Hang on, there's been something else
Now, what's
called back
going
here.
on? The ball's coming back to half back for Golden Square.
The Sandhurst player down in the middle of the ground as well in the hands of trainers, so keep an eye on that one, Josh.
Yeah,
Geez,
that'd
that
be,
rain is torrential at the moment.
Jeremy Roddy.
That'd be Roddy, yeah.
So the Square have it at half back. The umpire paid a free kick. The ball out wide, Draper the target. Can't hold the mark. He might have been dragged down in the marking contest. The umpire said nothing doing. The ball trickled over the line. The umpire said throw it in torrential rain here at the QEO. 23 minutes, first term in this elimination final for 2019. Sandhurst 2 straight 12. Golden Square 1-2-8.
Well, torrential rain is one way you could call it. Ball thrown in. Down and Compton both missed the ball. It spills out. They'll send it inside forward 50. Press actually missed his foot. Came off the boot of Nicholas Stagg. He sent it towards centre half forward. Umpires plucked out a free kick and it's going to go the way of the Dragons. And guess who's at the bottom of the pack? Blair Holmes. He absolutely loves it down there, does Blair Holmes. 55 from home. He sends it towards a hot spot. Can he get a mark? It's deep. Sliding in, unable to take the mark was Collins. Spills out wide. Roddy chases after it. Thrum will just soccer the ball off the ground and he's kicked it out of bounds on the full. Dragons will reload and go back inside forward 50 again. Far side of the ground here at the QEO. They lead Golden Square by 4 points on the South Bendigo poolside change room pocket.
Jake McLean's got the footy, so he'll put this deep for the Dragons. Inside 50. It actually falls in a little short. No mark. Looks like Wharton over the top of it. Can't work it out. The ball's held up under a number of players. Close to the boundary, it slips over. So we've got another throw in, about 30 around from the Sandhurst goal. It was all Golden Square early. The Dragons have kicked the last 2, though. The margin is 4 points in favour of Sandhurst at the 24-minute mark of the first term.
Yeah, you only have to look at the rain down in front of us and see that it is really blowing towards the city end of the ground. People going for cover that were on that cover have now had to go back a few rows down at the city end. Ball inside forward 50 for the Dragons. And we'll get it thrown in and we'll have another ball up. So
Won't be long quarters, boys, if this sort of scoring goes on. Although there is a few out of bounds, of course.
Yeah, due for the siren, I would have thought.
thrown in. Who can get a clean possession of it? Palprat's on the bottom of the pack. They feed out one. Golden Square just get it and send it out of defence. Burke will fly, unable to take the mark. It comes into the hands of Coe. Into the middle of the ground they go. Here's a chance for Dale Lowry. Couldn't quite get there. Comes forward through the legs of Travis Baird. Picked up for the Dragons. They fire a wide handball there towards Worm. He couldn't control it. Now ends up with Rhodey. That's Jeremy Rhodey. Bit of kung fu moves there to pick up the ball.
That might be in
and
the back.
Jaden Burke came in and gave away a free kick, which will go the way of the Dragons. Is that... You're going to get a free
Might be
kick.
Alex Wharton, is it?
Alex Wharton's going to get possession of the ball.
He's been busy.
He's been very busy, has Alex Wharton. He can come across the ground towards Worm if he wants to. Decides to stay down the pool side here, which is probably not a bad idea considering the conditions.
Good mark.
But the kick will be chopped off by Jaden Burke.
Atoned for his sin there. Gave away the free kick and then got back and took the mark. Sent it back towards or forward of the wing for Golden Square. No mark. Trying to work through. Well done, the Square. They'll get a kick long. Inside 50. It favours at the back there. Baird, he couldn't quite hold the mark. Ireland picked it up for Sandhurst. Got a defensive kick back to the 50 defensively. And again, they get another hurried ball back towards the middle of the ground. Plenty of players around it. Comes back here to Zach Paulpratt. Just bangs it on the boot. Gains some territory. Gets the ball towards half forward.
So Will Leeds was there, but he fumbled it. And going through Joel Wharton. Players slipping and sliding everywhere. Draper eventually gets it. He'll send it wide for Golden Square. But Worm dropped a chest mark. I'm not going to say simple in these conditions, but it probably should have been taken. He then able to recover with a handball to Down, who was at the bottom of a pack. In there for Sandhurst. Jake Palprat's in there. He's wrapped up by 3 Golden Square. And a pack of dogs, I guess you could call them, have made a good strong tackle. What do they call a pack of dogs, Johnny? No, Ronnie?
I don't know.
Pack of dogs.
A pack of dogs. Tossed up. It's at the 54 Golden Square. The ball knocked out towards Draper. He's under a lot of pressure though. Forced to release the handball. Adam Baird around the body, back inside 50. Burke was a target. Over his head. At the back, Travis Baird caught up in a good gang tackle. Brought to ground. The umpire said, "Mine, boys." No prior, I'll bounce it or throw it up. About 30 out from the Golden Square goal. It is Sandhurst by 4 points late in the term. We've played 27 minutes.
The ball go up. Compston and Downs been a very entertaining battle so far. Compston won that one down. Skinny Baird tried to bust through the pack, couldn't quite control it. Palprat will get it and just send it out of defence for the Dragons. Collins is there. Couldn't quite get it cleanly. Picked up by Shelton, who was taken again by Collins. Ball spills to ground. And Packer players dive on top of it and we'll have it balled up.
Can't be going in it one-handed, boys.
When players like Andy Collins, when players like Andy Collins are fumbling, you know it's pretty tough conditions.
So the rain is just starting to hold off here. It is very, very wet conditions out there. Draper, volleyball style forward. Hartley chases after it. It almost fell into his lap. He picked it up. Then he was tackled by Zimmer. Umpire said he didn't have the ball when Zimmer got him, which probably a little bit stiff. But Ryan Hartley has possession for the Bulldogs. He'll load it inside forward 50. And if Travis Baird was there, couldn't control it, wheeled around, sent a snapping ball off the left towards the top of the goal square. Big Packer players go. Morecambe stayed on ground level, got it, sent it out. Here's a chance. Thrum takes the mark. Well, that's a close 15 metres, but Jake Thrum's going to get a set shot for goal. Not sure if that went the required distance.
Hard on the boundary though. Tough kick, Cameron. Keep an eye on him. I reckon he'll run around.
So Jake Thrum goes to Banana and says, "I know what I'm doing, Ronnie." He puts through the goal, and the Golden Square are back in front. And the best swingman in the competition converts. Golden Square 2-2-14. Sandhurst 2 straight 12. 2 points the margin. Almost quarter time. Doing it for our community thanks to Aussie Disposals.
It's all happening down in the square there, Ronnie, isn't it?
I guess there's no love lost between these two teams, is there?
I'd be too tired to do all that stuff, Josh. I'll be trying to get a kick.
I used to be a bit feisty, then I thought, what's the point? I'll get the head smacked in.
I was a bit silly when I was young, but when I got older, I thought, better just try and get a kick, I think. Back in the middle, we're close to quarter time. It's a close contest, as you'd expect, just 2 points in it. Compston got it down in the ruck beautifully, taken by Barrett. Got a handball forward, didn't hit a teammate, though. Oh, look out. He's in a lot of trouble here. Is it Prest?
That was Ben Worm.
It was Worm, and he's penalised holding the ball. Hartley with a free kick for Golden Square, inside 50. Lovely kick for Burke, although standing in the hole, that was gutsy effort there by Wharton. In fact, that was Prest, who's got the muddle over the back of the jumper. Golden Square trying to rejig their forward line, trying to get the ball forward. Island's in a world of hurt, dragged down in the tackle. The ball spills and it's snapped at goal by Hamish Morecambe. It won't have the legs tight on the boundary now. It'll roll over, so we've got to throw in. It's almost adjacent to the behind post, but the siren has sounded. It is quarter time in this 2019 elimination final.
That is right. Quarter time here at the QEO. Golden Square 2-2-14. Sandhurst 2 straight 12 in wet, tough conditions. But it is an entertaining first quarter. More to come. This is 2019 finals football on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
It's all got the shorts on, so
Quarter,
I'm going all right.
The quarter time score. Golden Square 2-2-14.
Oh, you got
Sandhurst 2 straight 12. Let's get the second quarter underway. Finals football, Bendigo's Fresh FM. We're doing it for our community. Here is Ron Rogers.
So tossed up, it is Down and Compston. Down maybe the best of it, although Compston just toe pokes it off the deck, gains a few metres. Kicked off the ground for the square by Barrett. Scrubs the ball up toward half forward. Can they make something of it again? It's just shuffled forward, almost into the forward pocket. Geary goes in. Is that a high tackle on the Dragons defender? Brought down in the tackle. Might have been rough, I reckon, underneath all that. The umpire said, no, I'm going to toss it up. 30 out from the square goal as they attack the Barnard Street end in this second term.
That they do. Chris Down wins the ball down for Sandhurst. Chopped off by Golden Square. They'll toe one forward. Player went to ground there. A little bit slip and slidey out there. Can someone get a clean possession? Geary gets it. He's a class player. He'll wheel it to the top of square. Burke comes out. Has he taken the mark? Jaden Burke. In these conditions, that is a terrific grab. And this would be the perfect start to the third quarter for Golden Square. And that can put them out by 8 points if he kicks truly. So 15 metres out, directly in front, Jaden Burke.
Usually very reliable kick at goal.
Shouldn't miss from here. I'm not going to say he won't miss, but he shouldn't miss. Burke comes in and... wow.
Oh, commentator.
I should have said the other one because he's missed it. That's a shocking kick
Like
for
I
goal.
said, boys, nothing's a given today, those conditions. Even the ball drop, Josh, you know what I mean?
So
ball just slips that little bit and then
that was
no cigar.
The right-hand side. 2-3-15 the Dogs, 2 straight 12 the Dragons, a minute and a half played, final quarter, thanks to Holden Colorado at Poyser Holden.
Jake Paul Pratt straight up the middle from the kick in. Holmes read that well off the pack. Got a scrubby ball forward. Gee, that was fortuitous. I reckon it went off the side of the boot, went straight to a teammate who got the Dragons deep forward. Skinny Wharton runs onto it. He's just got to pick it up and snap it around the body. Little toe poke into the goal square to work. And Big Bear Thornton standing on the goal line just toe pokes it through. And the Dragons are back in front. 3 straight 18. Golden Square 2-3-15. 2 minutes into the second. Bendigo's Fresh FM doing it for our community finals footy.
I reckon he was having a shot there, fellas. But
that
big Bear Thornton, that's a long way down for him to pick that up. A great effort. But, you know, the transition from back to forward then was very, very quick. And I think that's what Sanders have to capitalise on going down to the city end this quarter using that wind.
A good transition play results in a Sandhurst goal and puts the Dragons back in front after Jaden Burke misses a soda down the other end. Ball back into the middle. Down wins it down. Adam Baird's in there. He sharks it, but he's wrapped up straight away by Nicholas Stagg. And we'll ball it up. So do it all again. Let's take 2. Umpire Scott Baxter wasting no time throwing the ball up in the air. Ball comes to ground. Collins goes through. Was caught high according to the umpire.
Holding the ball, I think.
It might have been a high fend-off. So Adam Baird's going to get the free kick for Golden Square. 50-metre penalty is going against the Dragons.
Collins
Possibly
and Baird having a little bit of a howdy-do.
Possibly a little bit of an encroachment.
Still putting his elbow up to his face, so I don't know that he's really
silly.
learning his lessons. A bit silly.
So what was the 50-metre for?
Well, he come again and hit him after he got rid of the ball, I think. They were having a little bit of a howdy-do. The umpire was right onto it.
Either way, Adam Baird's going to have possession. He'll line up for goal, 30 metres out, almost directly in front here at the QEO to put Golden Square back in front with an instant response. Adam Baird fires on goal. He was lucky to make connection with his boot there. That was a shocker. It almost came off the, what do you want to call it, the top of the boot. Yeah, 2-4-16 Golden Square have missed a few chances. Sandhurst are 3 straight 18. Against the breeze, you've got to convert your opportunities. It's the Dragons by 2 points. Thanks to Aussie Disposals.
Paul Pratt long for down again. Holmes read that beautifully. got the ball back towards the middle of the ground. It's all Golden Square though. Little chip pass out wide, finds Thrum on the wing for the Bulldogs. Just chips at about 15 metres, that'll work. Mark taken for Golden Square by Barrett. Hard on the boundary, true wing, main grandstand side. Goes long now, up towards half forward. Big pack around this. Ball hits the deck. Plenty of defenders there for Sandhurst. They squirt the ball out wide towards the boundary line. Holmes won't keep it alive, and the ball goes over the line and out of bounds. It'll be a throw in about 65 around from the Golden Square goal, and there's a Dragons player limping off. I think it's Blair Holmes. Just keep an eye on that, boys. The ball's thrown in.
So ball thrown back into play. Down wins it down for Sandhurst. Socket forward. Comes into the direction of Lockie Ross. Tried to feed off a handball there. Eventually it ends in the hands of Shelton. That's Zach Shelton who fires it forward.
Great mark.
Good defensive mark taken by the Dragons by Palprat. He'll come into the middle of the ground. He's got an option here. If it just sits for Rhodey, he sat under it all right, and Braden Welsh came over the top, spoiled it to ground.
Oh,
Golden Square player picked up the ball. Was that John Coe? It was John Coe, and he was taken high. Well, Zach Palprat pleads his case for a stiff kick, but the umpire doesn't have a bar of it. Coe sends it wide to Jack Geary, and they're away down the poolside wing. Geary's put it out of bounds on the
it wasn't his best kick, was it? Out of bounds on the full swimming pool side.
It's an unregistered mistake from Jack Geary. You don't see that very often.
So the margin is 2 in favour of the Dragons. They're 3 straight 18. Golden Square 2-4-16. We're 5.5 minutes into the second term as the Dragons have the ball at half back. Swimming pool side, long ball up to the wing, again down the target. Well spoilt. Who's front and square? It is Jack Geary of Golden Square. Can he do better this time? Spreads it all very wide again.
He's picked it out of bounds on the full.
I think he has.
That one's out of bounds on the full.
That one was Jack Geary.
And the ball is out of bounds on the full, and the free kick will go to Stagg.
I was just in the future. So Golden Square will send the ball down the line. The Dragons can try and attack. Who can get a clean possession of it? Down there is Eaton. Wasn't able to get much of it. It comes forward. Here's a chance for the Dragons. They've got 4 numbers here, Sandhurst. It's a 4-on-1 situation. Paul Pratt gets it over the top. Zach Paul Pratt sends it to the square, and Matt Bear Thornton takes the mark pretty much in the goal square, and he'll have to fall over to miss this one.
Just use the body well there, Big Bear.
Now, I will say he will not miss this one. It'd be a very difficult
on him,
kick.
Cameron, you reckon?
So Bear Thornton has already got 1 in the game. This for his second. And it gives Sandhurst a nice lead after Golden Square have missed a couple of opportunities to go over their 1-goal lead. Matt Thornton for 2 Sandhurst goals in a row. No worries at all. Straight over the goal umpire's at his second. Sandhurst 4th. They're 4 straight 24. Golden Square 2-4-16. Finals footy, doing it for our community. Thanks to Priority One Property.
Big Bear Thornton just using his body well there. It was at that last second he just protected the ball drop, got the Dukes up, and very hard to mark in these conditions, but a fantastic grab for Big Bear Thornton to put Sandhurst well and truly in front now. Well, not well and truly in front.
Under these conditions, I suppose it's a handy lead, 8 points, but the rain has cleared, which is a good thing, so it's a lot easier for the players and maybe for the commentators. So the ball back in towards the middle of the ground. The restart. The boundary umpire. He's got those chicken legs too as he gets the ball back into the middle of the ground. So, again down and Compston. Compston had a second swipe at it. Got the ball wide. Thrum picks it up for the square. Hacks it forward. Now he was felled after he got rid of it. I didn't actually see it, but I heard the whistle go. Mark was taken anyway by Vaz.
Andy Collins is just wanting to get himself into a bit of trouble today.
Yeah,
Vaz
stiff and sore in the middle.
Got the ball to half forward. Can the Square conjure something here? They're under a lot of pressure. Good tackling by the Dragons. Hold them up. Umpire says, give it to me. It's 45 out from Golden Square's attacking goal.
I thought you said Josh the Ice Cream Man wasn't making any business. We've just had 10 people, and I reckon 6 of them had ice creams in their hand just walk past.
Oh, they're mad, Cameron. They are mad.
Ball inside forward 50. Can they get a goal back, Golden Square, after 2 Sandhurst goals in a row?
Oh, I can smell
Morton
coffee.
Over the top. He's away. And ball to Paul Pratt. Paul Pratt will send the kick down the line, but John Coe should take it. He just dropped the mark, did John Coe. He's able to feed the handball back on the second gather. Into the middle of the ground with Skinny Baird. Tried to give it to Welsh. Welsh dropped the ball. Baird then battles back hard with a secondary tackle. John Coe's got it. Eventually just picks it up and throws it on the boot. No look to where the kick was going. And underneath it for the Dragons, it will be Paul Pratt, and he'll come wide. And Hasn't got enough on it to carry it its intended target, McLean. Not quite. It was chopped off there by Hartley. Used John Coe to give it back to Hartley. Then they send it forward. Chasing hard for the Dragons.
Well done.
And seeing the ball hard up against the boundary line. Pelprat, that's Zach. Down the line he goes. This time John Coe takes the defensive mark.
Wants to go into the middle of the ground. Thrum was in space, took the mark forward to the centre circle, delivers long. That's a very well-weighted kick. Finds his teammate there. That was Vaz, wrong foots his opponent, and then spears it inside 50. Overcooked it though. Ireland at the back took the defensive mark for the Dragons and kicks it long. It almost should be a free kick to Polprat. The umpire said play on. Now they're out. The long handball and they're away.
The long handball was okay to Cal Press, but he's certainly under a bit of pressure. Golden Square have worked it forward. Skinny Baird. It's with Jake Thrum. Inside forward 50. Thrum goes. Good lead is honoured by Trav Baird, and he hits him on the chest.
Josh, they're just a bit cleaner at the moment, Golden Square. Sandhurst is sort of, their disposal's not quite what it should be, and they've turned it over a few times, and they're hurting them on the rebound a bit, aren't they, Golden Square?
Square are just taking their option of the shorter options. A lot cleaner.
So chance for Travis Baird for his second goal. He comes in, he only takes 3 or 4 steps before releasing the footy. That's a beautiful set shot for goal. Anyone wanting to learn how to take set shots for goal should watch that. That was perfect. Golden Square are now 3-4-22. It's back to a 2-point margin. Sandhurst 4 straight 24. We've played 10 minutes in the second quarter. Finals footy. We're doing it for our community. Thanks to Priority One Property.
Yeah, Golden Square just taking their opportunities there in this quarter. Just they're using the short option. They're honouring that shorter lead. The footy might have dried up a little bit, but yeah, Sandhurst still moving the ball fairly well.
Kick a goal, go and have a spell.
Again, get off.
Tossed up in the middle. Oh, that's a lovely tap. Square will go forward. Kick is long from Hartley. Almost off the half off the side of the boot. Can they keep it in play? Knocked forward by Morecambe. He can't eventually keep it in. And the ball's out of play. 35 around from the Square attacking goal as they go to the Barnard Street end. The margin is just 2. Good close contest, 11 minutes into this second quarter, with thanks to Priority One Property.
So the ball will be balled back into play. Bernie Haberman is sitting up in the top of the grandstand. He's just wandered down to the edge of the bench, obviously trying to relay some sort of message. As Golden Square are giving away a free kick. Down, feeds off the handball. Now they thought about going inboard Sandhurst, then they thought about going down the grandstand side. Now he's going to come even further wide and look for the option, which you'll find. They're away now, Sandhurst. Down the grandstand side wing, they were away until that kick scrubbed over the boundary line. And if he could just hit it to Lockie Zimmer, he was in good position, but it wasn't a very good kick at all. Boundary line wins out.
Almost 12 minutes.
Look at that, the boundary umpire was about to throw the ball back in. He had to wait for all the players to catch up.
Tossed in. It's just forward of the wing for the Dragons. Knocked forward by Zach Polprat. Again back towards the boundary, and over she goes. 2-point lead to the Dragons. I reckon this one might go right down to the wire, Josh, the way this is shaping up at the moment. It's pretty low scoring. We've had tough conditions, but
Very hard to score.
it's very difficult to score. So throw in. Working to the front down. Got a good fist on it. Rhodey. In fact, it might be Zimmer underneath all that, and the umpire said, give it to me. It was Rhodey. I was right the first time. It was Vincent Rhodey. Again, a stoppage. The Dragons have worked it to about 55 from goal. Tap down. Dragons, Golden Square play got a little toe poke. Didn't travel far. Geez, big pack around this. The umpire said, I'll have it, boys. It's on the point of the centre square. Cross half forward for Sandhurst, who lead 4 straight. Golden Square 3-4-22. We're 13 minutes into the second quarter.
Good entertaining battle here on your Father's Day Sunday from the QEO. Elimination final, do or die. There is no tomorrow for the loser. Hartley gets it, sends it forward for Golden Square. Brimsmead was there, but he was met in a strong bump from Ireland as he was flying for the footy. It was a good contest.
I'd be waking up next week if that was me, Josh.
Yeah. No malice involved in that at all. Just 2 players with eyes on the footy.
Bounced straight up, which is good news.
And the ball goes to ground. So it'll be thrown up. Liam Barrett in there for Golden Square, unable to get clean possession. And we'll have another ball up.
Interested to know how many ball ups we've had, Cameron. You're taking stats, aren't
A
you?
lot.
33, I think we're up to now.
A lot.
You got a good memory if you can count that out, Josh. Ball up in the air. Down flew early. Won the hit down to Paul Pratt, who was wrapped up straight away. And we'll do it all again.
Hey,
At
we'll,
least
we'll take number 34 here.
I was going to say, at least the spectators have come back out now. They all hurried under cover when that rain was coming down. And even the boys on the field have settled down a bit now. There was a little bit of argy-bargy early. They're playing the ball on its merits now. Good tap down by Down to Zimmer. Immediately tackled, lost it. Was that a high tackle? No. There's about 9 players around this footy scrapping for it. The umpire is working overtime. And now again, tempers just get a little frayed after that.
Oh, come on, Ronnie. I thought you said they were
Well,
over
they
this.
did settle down for about 5 minutes. Now when the ball's in
Oh,
tight, there's a
Hamish Morecambe.
couple of little jumper punches, Cameron. You know, like Josh used to give. He just gives those little jumper ones inside. Got to bounce.
Hamish Morecambe's not happy with something there. He certainly got
Well, he
a
might
little
have
bit...
got one of those little jumper punches.
He got a little bit aggressive there. Draper's got it for Golden Square. He's tackled, fed out a handball. Hartley trying to bustle the way through. Couldn't quite
That's
pick up
holding
the
the ball
clean
short,
possession.
Dropping the ball.
Absolutely.
It's come out, so...
Very
about
lucky,
a
Ryan Hartley, I
second
thought.
re-ball up.
I tell you what, Ronnie, if you don't have a Kathmandu jacket on today, you're the odd one out.
Yeah, well, I don't even have a shirt on. So, no, I've got a shirt on, but
Jeepers.
a T-shirt, I should say. Dragged down in the tackle was Lockie Zimmer. Umpire said you're holding the ball. Did
Lucky
he?
we're
No.
on radio, Ronnie, because if you're on TV, they would have all tuned off.
No, they love it. They love it. Maybe Josh instead. Well, Zimmer actually got the free. The umpire said he was held without it, and he got the ball forward. Lumbering after it there for Golden Square was Coe. Got a handball off. Draper can chip it short for Golden Square. Finds a teammate at half back, and that's Barrett.
The handball over the top. It's in the hands of Lockie Humphrey. Humphrey goes wide to Callum Draper. Draper down the line. Kick was good. Found its way to Vaz. Braden Vaz has it. Sends it towards centre half forward. That's a good kick, and a good mark is taken. They wheel around into the hot spot. Here's
Great
a chance, and the mark will be taken by Harry Donegan. And while streaming into an open goal is Brimsmead. Eventually he's going to go there. And he
I would've
come
went
around,
back and
couldn't
had a
quite
shot.
take the mark. Well, he should have kicked it the first time instead of waiting for someone to get back. And that was, yeah, he thought twice about it, did Harry Donegan. If he had went the first time, it probably would have worked. But the fact that he thought twice and Sandhurst were able to pick it up and chop it off is a wasted opportunity for Golden Square.
Heavy footy might not have had the distance in his
Yeah,
leg.
and into the breeze. What breeze there is, maybe he was thought he was tested. Tossed up. It's inside 54, Golden Square. Jeez, have a look at this scrum of players around this ball. No one's going to get out of there in a hurry. The umpire said, give it to me. It's only about 30 from the Golden Square goal. Rain just starting again. Golden Square 3-4-22. The Dragons are 4 straight 24. Second term, 16 minutes gone. Knocked down to ground. Dragons are trying to work it out this time through Worm. Picked up for the square. High ball back towards the goal front, but way over the boundary line on the full. That was by Barrett, and the Dragons will take the free kick in the back pocket.
That they will. They'll look to bring the ball back into play. The rain's starting to come back down a little bit here again at the QEO.
Coffee bloke's on fire. He's got them lined up.
Yeah, the coffee bloke's doing a little bit better than the ice cream bloke as Sandhurst go short.
You were
Mark
for him
taken.
before.
Well, there was a few people walking around before, but the line certainly dwindled off, where the line for coffee is fairly big at the moment. Not much happening in the player footy at the moment. Eventually, Sandhurst will just send one down the poolside wing. Ball spalls to the block of the pack. That's Rhodey that came through. He was absolutely collected, was Vincent Rhodey, and he'll receive a free kick.
Go and pick his head up off the ground.
Travis Baird.
And while there's a
Travis
little,
Baird's just running
again,
on the boundary line
the
to keep
push and
himself
shove
warm.
has started again from Golden Square. They are, Hamish Morecambe is not in liking something out there. It's about the third or fourth time he's got involved in a little bit of push and shove.
Worm's been lively, hasn't he? He's had a bit of it.
Yeah, so Sandhurst have got it. They'll chip it into the middle of the ground.
Not bad.
Mark taken.
Free kick.
You
Mark.
could probably you'd probably be stiff if that was. You probably wouldn't argue the case if that was given 50-metre penalty then.
No.
And Sandhurst have got it across centre half back. They send a high ball down. They're on the poolside wing. Down flew. Couldn't quite take the
Well
mark.
roved.
Rhodey stayed at the ground nicely. They've got options at the drop of the ball if they
Oh,
fall,
well
but
done.
that was a great mark for Golden Square. That was Harry Donegan. He turned around and had to judge a swirling ball in the air, takes a defensive mark. He'll send it wide where he'll find Jake Thrum.
Well,
Dropped the mark.
Well, it wasn't Thrum. In fact, it was his
It was actually
teammate
Liam
there in
Barrett.
Barrett. Yeah, and his kick's not much chop either. He scrubbed it towards a teammate who put him under enormous pressure. The ball's held up on the boundary line. The umpire's having a good look. It said, whoever's on the bottom of that's holding the ball.
They've both got the bright blue boots on, those two.
So it will be a square free kick. So he atoned for his kick, Liam Barrett, and he'll take the free kick after laying a good tackle. Hard on the boundary, half back, out of side, swimming pool side of the ground, where all the umbrellas are up as Barrett's kick goes down the line towards the wing. Down in best position, got hands, didn't hold the mark. Collins got a handball, but it was cut off. Kick forward for Golden Square by Brinsmead. Bounces it up towards half forward. Oh, well done by Burke. He's got the numbers against him, but he won the ball. Handball to Geary. Floats the handball over the top. Better fancy footwork here. Now fed back to Burke, who was tackled at the vital moment. And his kick skewed wide. How lucky was that? Running onto it, Brinsmead was the beneficiary of a fortuitous kick off the side of the boot as Burke was tackled, and he'll line up for goal. About 35 out on a bit worse than a 45-degree angle. Not an easy kick under these conditions.
Just while we've got a little break here, the netball, the B grade, South Bendigo 25 went down to Eaglehawk 41. B Res, South Bendigo 43, beat Gisborne 33, 17 under Gisborne 38 by 2 over Kangaroo Flat.
Brinsmead lines up on the runway. He'll go from about 40. Made pretty good contact. The umpire does a little bit of fancy footwork, the goal umpire, and then says, it's a goal. So Brinsmead gets his first. And the Golden Square team are back in front. 4-4-28. Sandhurst 4 straight 24. Seesawing affair 20 minutes into the second term with thanks to Holden Colorado at Poyser Holden.
A bit of a long time coming there for a goal. We've been waiting a fair while, I think a good 10 minutes there without any score, fellas. So
at this stage, Josh, who's going to win the game?
oh, geez.
Look at the trees on the
hard to
far
call,
side of
isn't
the
it?
ground. The wind is really starting to pick up out there.
You'll know more about that in a minute, Cameron, at half-time when you go to get me a pie with sauce.
I was thinking
Or
you
a
were
hot
going to do
dog.
that for me as the ball
And
goes
you're paying
forward.
too.
Humphrey
About
sends it
time.
inside forward 50, chasing hard. No one able to get there.
Reckon that's a chance of Cameron punt? No hope, no hope, no.
Wouldn't
You're on
shout
the
if a
big
shark
dollars
bit
through
him,
the
I
week,
don't
eh? You're
reckon.
at office work, so
Ronnie?
you're raking it in.
Wouldn't shout if a shark bit him.
No, I don't think so.
Ball inside forward 50.
Short arms and long pockets, I think.
Again,
Deep
no one
pockets.
able to take clean possession of the footy, and this is kind of where we're at. We're in a bit of a stalemate here at the QEO. Wet, tough conditions. Not a lot happening in terms of football. 50 out from home. Ball knocked down for Golden Square. Who can get clean possession onto it? Chasing hard back there will be Pal Pratt. He
Good
wasn't able
tackle.
to pick it up. Sandhurst players all around this, and they're being mauled by a pack of dogs. Ball comes out. Adam Baird gets it. Fires one from around the body towards the top of the goal square. Bouncing. Sandhurst, they'll handball their way out of trouble. It comes over the top to Jake Paul Pratt. Gives it off to Andrew Collins. Collins will then send a high ball down the
deliberate.
wing. Not sure where he was intended to take
I
with
do.
that.
I know
It's
exactly
bouncing,
where he
it's
was
bouncing.
going.
It's going to stay in play enough to make sure
That
it
was the
wasn't
most
called
deliberate
deliberate.
kick you
It
would ever
bounced
see.
perfectly.
Yeah.
Come on.
What do you reckon,
It was
Josh?
a miscued kick.
He put that off the side of the boot deliberately.
Yeah,
no, he
deliberate.
miscued his kick.
No, he did not.
He
Brad
miscued
Eaton
the kick.
He's too
was playing
skilled for
very
that.
hard to the umpire there.
Throw in. Well, he got the desired result. He got it forward of the wing for the Dragons. Throw in. Compston, maybe the better of that. Collins is on the end of it, though. Look out.
Oh,
Well
bang.
tackled. Good tackle by Barrett. Brought him down. Skinny Wharton got it away. Couldn't find a teammate. He tries to lay the tackle on Geary, but Geary gets his kick away for the square. Up toward half forward. No mark. Geez, big pack around this again. Who's going to be first there? The Dragons with the numbers. The handball comes out to Worm. He releases it to a teammate who just slaps it
That's
on
a
the boot.
barrel.
Gains about 60 metres as it bounces deep into the forward line. Last man standing for the square got a little toe poke to it. That was Lee, and he clears the defensive area, maybe not entirely. As the ball goes out towards the boundary, it will go over.
Wasn't that a good old-fashioned barrel?
Oh, next day probably got that 80 metres to their advantage.
I reckon
That was a fantastic
it
kick.
just
It
bounced.
spiralled
It beat
perfectly.
everybody
Bounced.
on the bounce, and then it just carried.
But it spiralled perfectly too.
Throwing Cameron out of side across half forward for the Dragons.
Throw in. Going up. Compston wins the hit down. Ball will head back towards the boundary line where we'll do it all again.
The rain has returned.
Time to turn the lights on, I think.
It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He said, "I'll be back," and the rain is back. I thought it was going to clear. I wouldn't get a job on the Weather Channel, would I?
No.
Looking
Jane
out
Barton
there,
will
it's
listen
pretty
to
dark.
that.
I think the rain set in for most of the afternoon. Thrum going back for square. You'll see it right hard against the boundary line with Jake McLean. And we'll have it thrown in.
Of course, whoever loses today is mothballs.
Done.
So it's pretty tough conditions.
the
I'll have
winner-
plenty of time to rest up, Josh.
And
That's
the winner
what's
will be back to take on Gisborne next Sunday.
They will be done and dusted. Join us at 5 o'clock tomorrow night.
So thrown in. That's a good one. I like that, Josh. Inside forward 50. Worm's got it for Sandhurst. He goes around, then sends a high ball inside forward 50. Zimmer. Can he use
Good
the
spoil.
flight? It was spoiled away. Draper's got it. He accelerates away. Just got the kick away to Draper. Burke's the intended target, but Draper might nearly get on the end of his own kick here. Burke's got it. Tackling pressure from Sandhurst as well, enough to hold up. And that was Jake Wilkinson. If he didn't make that tackle, Wilkinson, the handball goes back to Draper and Golden Square inside forward 50. So well done.
All that talk of hot dogs earlier, it's got me hungry now. Throw up doesn't take much to get me
What
hungry.
about one of the boys in the back? They're not doing anything.
Throw up on the wing. He did his own roving down and got a handball forward. Jack Geary, though, for the square. Got it. Fed it off. Welsh off a step. Back from whence it came, forward to the wing for Golden Square. Bit of a fumble there by the big man Hartley. Trying to get a boot the ball was Compston. It only dribbled off the end of his boot. Massive pack around this. The umpire's giving him a little bit of latitude to try and work it out. Knock forward for the square, but Sandhurst have the numbers. The ball's fed to Skinny Wharton. He looks even skinnier in the wet. His handball ineffective. Taken for the square. Kick forward by Morecambe. It will be cut off though. And I reckon that might be Alex Wharton. Is it back there at half-back for Sandhurst, who's taken the mark?
So he'll look to come down the grandstand side wing here. We've just ticked over 24 and a half minutes in the second quarter. Trying to juggle the mark was Shelton. Wasn't able to. Ball at the bottom of the pack, as it has been for a lot of this game. Shelton with a strong tackle.
Tackling's been a feature, Josh, but these conditions, it makes it really tough, doesn't it, for the player trying to, pick the ball up cleanly and release it.
So you'd think that Shelton and Lockie Ross having a bit of wrestle there instead of getting the ball back to the umpire, and Shelton had to run and get the ball, and Lockie Ross has run away and found himself in some space. So that's clever by Lockie Ross. Ball up, knocked down. Draper's in there. Andy Collins comes through, feeds off an opponent and sees the ball across the boundary line for another throw in.
4-4-28 Golden Square. Sandhurst 4 straight 24, so it's a 4-point lead to the Bulldogs. We are late in the second quarter in this 2019 elimination final. Bendigo's Fresh FM doing it for our community, and as the ball's on the ground again, as you'd expect from that throw in. Now Paul Pratt was dispossessed. The ball spills to Draper. He kicks it to half forward for Golden Square, and again the ball is cut off by the Dragons' defence. Wharton, that's Alex Wharton. Oh, his kicks made it hard there for his teammate. That was Zimmer. The ball's pushed forward towards the middle of the ground for the Dragons. Was that a push in the back? The umpire said it was. Zach Paul Pratt will take it. Boys, I haven't seen Blair Holmes since he limped off earlier.
And 50 metres,
What's
Josh?
the 54, guys?
Didn't give it back to him on the full there.
Come on, Ampy. It's a bit close for a game to be doing that sort of stuff.
Well, give the ball back to him on the full and it won't happen. Come on, Ronnie.
In the spirit of the game,
I
don't like 50-metre penalties in finals and close games.
Yeah, well, if you give the ball back to him on the full, it doesn't happen.
I seen Blake's belting the bejesus out of there earlier and no one got a free kick.
Well, this takes Sandhurst in within 30 metres.
50-metre penalty away for not throwing the ball back.
So Zach Paul Pratt will step. He'll release the ball from about 45 metres out. Fires it goalwards. He loves the celebration, and he loves it even more because it's gone through for a goal that puts Sandhurst back in front late in the half. 5 straight 30, the Dragons. It's a costly penalty for Golden Square. 4-4-28. 2 points the difference. 27 gone. Second quarter. Finals footy. Doing it for our community. Thanks to Holden, Colorado at Poyser Holden.
Why don't you like a 50 metres?
I think it's too big a penalty, and especially in a final when it's low scoring like this. I mean,
don't be undisciplined.
Oh, Cameron.
The
give
rules,
you undisciplined.
but the rules states
Did you ever
in black,
play the game, Cameron?
The rules states in black
Seriously?
and white. Yeah.
Mate, they were belting the shite out of each other earlier. No one got a free kick. Now they play a penalty like that. Seriously? No feel for the game. The ball's kicked out of the middle for the Dragons, up toward half forward.
I think you need
Can
to read
they
a rule
work
book,
it out? Paul Pratt's on the end of it. He broke one tackle. That's Zach Paul Pratt. Now the ball's over the line before he got his kick away. Throw in.
I think you need to read a rule book. It states in
Cameron,
black and white
I've
if
been
you don't
covering
give the
this
ball back on
game
the full.
for 40 years. Don't tell me about the rules.
So ball will be thrown back into play almost
We'll be
underneath
doing more
the
than getting a
scoreboard.
coffee in a minute. We'll
And
be
again,
going out the window.
The rules change every year anyway, so who knows what's going on. As the ball comes out, Sandhurst have got a chance. Rhodey trying to break his way through, was caught in the tackle. Umpire eventually stating that it is holding the ball.
Normie Jenkins out there at the Maryborough Castlemaine District League. Trentham 2-2 to Harcourt 1-1. Trentham with the win.
Now, people that are listening, Ronnie, are wondering why that result is so late. There was a half an hour delay because of some thundering and lightning.
Yeah, very,
And
very
as Queen would
frightening,
say,
Cameron.
yes, that's Queen
That's
would say.
what the great Freddie Mercury said.
You're
Now,
the Queen.
The ball is out at half back for the Bulldogs, and no one's getting our way. So I get another stoppage. How many is that, Josh?
That's 39 now. Yep, we haven't had that many in the last.
That might be a
5
free
minutes.
kick to Golden Square. Umpire let that one go.
39 in the last minute.
Didn't think that was a free kick.
No.
And the ball might have went off a boot, did it? No, the umpire said it came off a hand or a thigh and it's rolled out of play, so it's a throw in. Forward of the wing for Sandhurst on the swimming pool side. Dragons are 5 straight. Haven't got a blemish on the scoreboard. 5 straight 30. Golden Square 4-4-28. 29 minutes into the second quarter.
Yes, can't be long to go until half-time. At the moment, you'd just like to be in front heading into the half-time break as Golden Square look to go forward, kick hard up against the boundary line. Will be touched. Over and out of bounds, we'll have a throw in.
This is the 27th throw in for the half, Cameron,
And the rain continues.
if you want to know.
Must be just about half-time, boys.
You're just storing all that stuff up in your head. That's pretty
No.
impressive.
Stats, mate.
Counts cards at the casino as well.
Oh,
Don't tell
That
anyone.
is frowned upon as the ball gets
Don't tell
inside.
anyone.
Trying to go through advantage. Will be paid to Sandhurst. It'll be Rhodey. They'll send it forward. Bear Thornton's down there. Oh, good mark. No, it wasn't paid. Handball over. If he had gone inboard, he had an option in Lockie Ross. Instead, he's turned it over and Golden Square will be able to rebound. Morecambe's got it. Sends it down the line. Chris Down trying to get in there for Sandhurst. Rain starting to come down a little bit heavier again here at the QEO. Ball goes forward. Inside forward 50, hobbling towards the boundary line.
Nick Stagg, another barrel into the forward 50.
Might be Father's Day, but it's a crap day, isn't it?
Oh,
The rain is pelting down again.
I feel for the Golden Square bench, you got to cross the whole oval to get into the rooms at half time, where the Sandhurst guys have to walk off
I
the
think
back
they might
bench.
be already wet, Cameron, but anyway. Throw in.
Just a
Ball to the
little thing.
back, Skinny Baird. Head pulled off. No free. Go figure. The ball kicked out wide. Off the hands of Drew Barrett. It's gone out of play.
30 minutes ticked over in the quarter two. For a game that's only had 9 goals kicked in a half, we've played 30 minutes.
Ronnie, your hair used to go curly in the rain, didn't it?
Didn't have any hair. I
Oh.
used to try and, actually, I had a big mullet one stage. I looked ridiculous. Don't tell anyone.
Nothing's changed since then as Sandhurst
Hey,
will send the
careful.
ball inside 50s from down. Inside, here's a chance for Sandhurst. So some
Holding the
holding, and
man.
it's going to go the way of Golden Square. And it'll be to
There she is.
Shelton. So Zach Shelton letting the ball in his hand at half time. And now the most entertainment of the game will be watching the Golden Square bench do the old Harry Holt to get to the other side of the ground and get into the rooms. That is half time here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. Is elimination final, which of course means the loser is Gonzo for season 2019. The winner will be back next Sunday to take on Gisborne. It is Golden Square 4-4-28, Sandhurst 5 straight 30. That's half time. Bendigo Live. This is 2019 finals football on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
All after half time, boys.
Good stuff.
We might see some okay possessions.
One of my old coaches said you wouldn't know much about new footies playing in the twos all the time.
So we're about to get the second half underway. It's a 2-point lead to Sandhurst. Finals footy. We're doing it for our community. Here's Ron Rogers.
So Compston and Down might have had the best of that. Collins might be in the back of his opponent as the ball's held up in the middle of the ground. No one can break clear. And another stoppage. It's been the pattern of the day. Very heavy conditions and tough to find any sort of space.
Ronnie,
Good
you were
tip.
right. Holmes done for the day. Lower leg injury.
Righto, so Compston got that down. Jeez, there's a lot of players around this footy. Rhodey just kicked it off the deck, gained a few metres. Staggs in there. Oh, Collins tried to kick it out of midair, not kicked his opponent's head off. No free kick. Rhodey again. Tapped it to Paul Pratt, whose kick was charged down. The ball's shuffled out towards this broadcast wing. Trying to make possession of the footy was Hamish Morecambe, but he can't get a clean handle on it.
Collins copping one to the elbow there. He looks a bit ginger.
Throw in, true wing, broadcast side. We've played 1 minute in the third term of this elimination final, and the Dragons still hold that 2-point lead.
So ball thrown back into play. Down, got there first for Sandhurst, won the ball down. Jolie Wharton was chasing after it. So too Harry Donegan for Golden Square. Spills out to Nick Stagg, he gets it. Well, he's run a fair way. Almost had to think about bouncing the footy, but it's not conditions you want to be bouncing the footy in. They work it forward. Rhodey has it for the Dragons. Sends it inside forward 50. It's a nice blind spin. And running in is Lockie Zimmer for a fantastic goal. The old blind turn and the finish. 6 straight goals to the Dragons and a fast start in the third quarter. 6 straight 36 Sandhurst, 4-4-28 Golden Square. A minute and a half gone in the third. Finals footy, thanks to Priority One Property.
Well, it's just that work of Nick Stagg again going into the forward line, wasn't it? is every time the ball has gone in to their forward 50 from Nick Stagg, they've got a goal out of.
Yeah, and with Holmes gone for the day, he's going to be really important, isn't he, in this second half?
He is.
He's that sort of in and under, hard-working midfielder.
He's not the biggest fella, is he?
No. Makes up for it with a big heart,
Big
though.
heart, that's right.
Tossed up. Down, second swipe. There he is again, held by one arm but got boot to ball. The umpire said he's held without it. Well, I don't know whether that's entirely the rule, Cameron. You know a fair bit about the rules. But he's going to take a free kick in the middle of the ground.
50 metres.
Handball's off. The run of Wern. He goes wide. Target out there is McLean. He runs on towards the footy and then loses his feet at the vital moment. He and the ball go over the line and out of bounds. Throw in on the outer side, about 70 around from the Dragons' goal. They've started this quarter well, Josh.
Yeah, they certainly have. And talking of Nick Stagg, he did become a life member of the Sandhurst Football Club a couple of weeks ago. So congratulations to him.
Ball thrown back into play. Compston goes up. Played over 200 senior games for the Golden Square side as Big Matty Compston. Ball goes in. No one able to really take a clean possession, which has been a story of the first half. It's not raining here, but it is still pretty dark here at the QEO. The lights are on. Ball thrown back into play. And, well, I guess you could say it'll be lights out for one of these teams on season 2019. Dark, wet conditions here at the QEO. Compston wins the down. Looking to go inside forward 50, the Dragons. That was good play. They'll loop one inside. Here's a chance again. This is with Lockie Ross. He'll be able to step away, give off a handball. They'll fire one on goal. And it's touched across and through for a minor score. So their first blemish to the scoreboard, the Dragons. 6-1-37, Golden Square 4-4-28, 3.5 gone in the third quarter. Thanks to Holden, Colorado at Poyser Holden.
Tracy brings it in. Shocking kick. Put it straight down the throat of McLean. He'll send it back inside the 50. No mark, or is there? Golden Square defender claims it.
Umpire pays it.
Who's underneath all that? It is for Golden Square, Zach Shelton. So that was a good grab under a lot of pressure. Wants to go short into the back pocket. Thrum. Handball's off. Releases his teammate in Welsh. Kicks it up to the wing. That's better ball movement. And Adam Baird takes the mark on the outer wing for Golden Square.
So Adam Baird has it outer wing. They come in board towards Thrum. If he's green enough, he's got a bit of space. Coming to cut off the run there nicely was McLean. Thrum goes even further wide. Good build-up play this from the Dogs. They short ball to Geary. 50 from home. Jack Geary going to slow things down a little bit here. He'll send a high ball inside forward 50 on the right. Sandhurst player flew, couldn't quite take it.
Pushed him out.
Travis Baird's kick was smothered, but it's a push. Free kick will go the way of the Dragons. Trying to take the quick advantage there was Paul Pratt, but the umpire says nope, give it back to Isaac Ruff. You can have a free kick.
Ruff brings it towards the broadcast or main grandstand side. That's a good mark. Jake Paul Pratt standing steady in front. Half back, little chip pass, Guinea Wharton. Hard on the boundary, half back, grandstand side. 6-1-37 Sandhurst, Golden Square 4-4-28, 5 minutes into the third. Wharton's kick goes for down, big pack around him though, ball knocked to ground, Stagg. Got a hurried kick forward, it bounces close to the boundary. Can they keep it alive? They do. This time through Lockie Zimmer, around the body towards half forward. No mark, Collins a crumb, gets through some traffic, goes onto his left. He was just pushed as he got boot to ball. He was trying to get it to Thornton. The Golden Square defenders awake to that, knock it out of play. And there's another blue.
Again. Oh. Andy
Gee, they've had a few of these today.
So the boundary umpire just needs to waste no time throwing the ball back into play here. Central umpire signalling just get the ball back into play. Compston and down. It's one down. No one able to take it clean possession though. Now the players eventually give up on the brawl and start to chase the footy. Maybe they should have kept brawling because it might have been the pack wasn't as congested, and we'll have another ball up.
Lockie Ross, one of the perpetrators involved in that. You got a few mates though. Keep going, Cameron.
So the ball goes up. Sandhurst will try and clear it out. Umpire's going to give a free kick, and it's going to go.
Look out. It's going to be on again here.
The Dragons. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's Roddy, isn't it?
So it's going to go to Vincent Roddy.
Who got whacked. And
in fact, it's Jeremy Roddy.
His teammates were not happy campers. Been a lot of this throughout the day today, Josh.
You wouldn't be a happy camper in this weather either, would you? The tent would be wet.
I'd be too tired to be throwing them, Cameron.
Just update out at, where are we? MC Danfordale, sorry, half-time, Trentham 6-4-40 over Harcourt 4-3-27.
I say that in the cab. Where are we?
Yeah, well, so do I when you're driving.
Now. That's a bit harsh.
Meanwhile, Jeremy Roddy comes in and he fires on goal and puts through a goal for the Sandhurst Dragons, and they step out to a pretty handy lead in the conditions. 7 goals, 143 are the Dragons, 4 goals, 28 are the Bulldogs, both with 8 shots at goal, but it's in a 15-point lead to the Dragons. 7.5 gone in the third quarter, thanks to Holden Colorado at Poyser Holden.
I'm just kidding, Ronnie. You're a good driver.
Yeah, of course I am.
You don't accidentally leave the accelerator on and crash into a tree or something like that, do you? Like someone did this morning, apparently, in the taxis. But
yeah, not guilty.
It was a mechanical fault.
They say. Tossed up in the middle, so the Dragons have got a little bit of a break here. They're at the 15 points, and Collins will bring them out of the middle again. Handballs off to McLean, up to half forward. Good defensive mark. Reading that really well for Golden Square. Might be Coe back there, I reckon, at half back, who goes in short, and the mark taken by Barrett, or is it? Yep. There's a bit of action going off the ball, but the mark is with Liam Barrett at half back for Golden Square.
And Liam Barrett has the ball across half back for the Dogs. Sends it down the line. Compton flies high and will tap the ball over the boundary line for a boundary throw in. True centre wing position, grandstand side of the QEO on your Father's Day Sunday. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I know my dad, Kieran, will be listening. So hello.
They need a goal, the Bulldogs boys. As a steadier, as Stagg gets a handball from the stoppage.
He's been busy.
Zimmer slung in the tackle. He had it for a fair while. The umpire let him get away with it. Stagg again. Toe pokes at the half forward. He wanted Collins. He gave away a free kick. And we'll come back here to Coe of Golden Square at true centre half back.
And hear the Bronx cheers from the Golden Square supporters as Coe's found Adam Baird in an absolute paddock. Baird gets it and then he'll play on. We'll send a high ball inside forward 50.
Oh, good mark.
Good defensive mark
Skinny
taken by Jake Pelprat.
Downfield there. Pushed after he kicked it.
Righto.
So Jakey Pelprat.
He showed a lot of courage backing back into that pack.
Jake Pelprat has possession of the ball for the Dragons. He's going to play on and send it towards the grandstand. And Chris Down will come and juggling. Compston
good hands.
Just knocked the ball down, but he was able to feed off the handball to I. They come back now, the Dragons, to Worm. That came from Lockie Ross. Then Worm was the one that kicked it up towards Pelprat, who's in everything at the moment. Sends it towards centre half forward. Golden Square have got the numbers across half back with Braden Welsh. They'll clear a kick in the middle of the ground and find Skinny Baird, who's met in a strong crunching tackle. And he's going to pin him for holding the ball as well.
Didn't think there was any prior there.
What about that rule, Cameron?
Yeah,
prior opportunity?
I'm not an umpire basher, but I'm not going to...
I'm not an umpire basher either, but
agree with that
what
one.
I would say is he's very unlucky, I would have thought.
So Callum Press gets the free kick. He's 60 out from home for the Dragons. He's acting like he's going to have a set shot from goal. As they'd say, tell him he's dreaming if he thinks he can kick it that far.
Well, he might. He might be a big hoof. Might go for a big spiral. Might be a Malcolm Blight. Oh, you couldn't remember that, Blake Cameron.
Press. Well, if that's a shot at goal, it's fallen about 30 metres short.
He
So
was
he
sitting
passed
up
it
to the
towards
hot
the
spot.
top of the square. No one able to take a contested mark or anything like that. Ball spills to ground. Draper feeds out a handball, but he gets it straight to Ben Worm. He backtracks, then sends a pirouetting ball around on his right foot. It comes to the top of 50. No one able to take the mark for either side. Spilling out. Coe taps it forward for the Dragons. Now they work a ball into the hands of Hartley, who will see the ball down the middle. They are away here square. Hartley's got the ball. Will it settle? Will it bounce away from Vaz? He's chasing. The boundary line wins. And if the boundary line didn't win, Golden Square were going to win. But the boundary line won.
7-1-43, the Dragons. Golden Square 4-4-28. We're 11 minutes into the third term. Finals football. Bendigo's Fresh FM doing it for our community. It'll be thrown in about 55 around from the Golden Square goal, and they badly need one here. Geary tries to bust through. He's held up by 2 tacklers. The umpire said mine.
Cameron, if you're going to eat that pie, I will. You're on commentary. I'm on special comments.
That's right. You've got a lot more time. So, a throw up on 50. Golden Square into attack. It went off Down's face, and that was pretty funny, actually. It was like a falcon, yep. Trying to work it out was Condon. He laid a good tackle in the end and made a path for his teammates. Roddy, that's Vincent Roddy, got the handball forward. Running onto the footy is Callum Prest for Sandhurst. Can go to the forward line, into the forward pocket. He wants Collins. Surrounded, just kicks it off the deck into the forward pocket. Can the Sandhurst attacker? No, he can't. Zimmer keep it alive. Way to numbers wing out, and Golden Square will bring it out. Although
bang.
there's a bit going on the goal line. A fair bit going on. I just took the binoculars off it for a sec as the ball was coming out, but there's
And
a
it's
big
all in now.
melee.
Andy Collins is trying to cop himself a week here. That was absolutely ridiculous. There was absolutely no reason for him to deck him after the ball. That was very, very late.
Well,
So all in now. There's only a handful of
it's a
players.
square ball at half back.
Hamish Morecambe's got the ball. The umpire's going to tell him to play on, and there's only about 6 players in front. And here we go. We're down the wing, and it's going to be knocked back in. Pelprat's down there. It comes out. Golden Square looking to try and take advantage. He had it down. This game is about to boil over because it's on again inside forward 50.
I
Yellow
don't want to just
card
play
now.
footy.
Andy Collins.
Seriously.
Yeah, you've got one half the guy playing the footy and the other half are down in the forward 50. So now Down's got to get a free kick. He's going to send it directly back to where it's all happening.
It's going to be held up here, boys. Andy Collins has been sent off with a yellow card,
Andy Collins.
which is, I think,
Selfish.
selfish.
Yeah, it is.
And
Silly.
It's ridiculous.
His
No.
team are on top. They're
He's a leader.
already a player down with Blair
So,
Holmes
13
done for the day.
So 13 minutes into the third quarter, Andy Collins is off the ground, so he won't be back for probably the rest of this quarter, I wouldn't imagine.
Chris down with the footy. Now, what's the umpire saying?
Was it
I
a
reckon
yellow
he's going to
card?
have to hand it back here.
Was it a yellow card, Josh?
Yeah, yellow
And
card.
it will go to Compston on the wing.
Jack Geary also sitting on the bench looking a bit tender.
So Compston inboard with a short kick for the square. Finds his teammate. That was Adam Baird. Oh,
Hey.
big leap in the forward line by Morecambe, but he's given away the free. The umpire said unrealistic attempt. Now, is that 50?
It should be 50.
Ah,
It should-
Cameron,
it
now
should
what's
be
going
50.
on?
To the letter of the rule, that's 50.
That was silly. He stepped away from that ball.
Oh,
The throw went
come
nowhere
on.
near him.
It's the same thing.
Cameron,
The
it
throw
went
went
directly
nowhere
to
near
him. He
him.
took one
Jesus.
step to the left.
Anyway, it is a Sandhurst ball, and the footy is with Jake Paulpratt, who goes wide.
So he sends it wide, Jake Pelprat, and finds Ben Worm. So Worm
He's
has
been
it for
good,
the
Ben Worm.
Dragons.
He's
He
had a
has
fair
been
bit of it.
very good. Potential a draftee, potentially Ben Worm. Looking to go down the line with a high ball. No one able to get on the end of it and take the mark. Golden Square will send it forward. Trying to come through. Good bump laid from Jake Paulpratt. Those Paulpratt boys love to play footy. And there's another Sandhurst player down, and it could be on again here.
Yeah,
There
it's
is
another
more
push and
Barge and
shove.
Sharvey. Barge and Sharvey, there you go. Push and
reckon,
shove, argy-bargy happening down there.
Do they lay in the local leagues any video evidence? Do they use
Yeah,
that?
the
Yeah,
game's filmed,
game's all-
absolutely.
Yep.
Jeez,
so-
they'll be busy.
Sent forward. Going forward is Golden Square. They're able to try and come through the pack. Ball spills out. Tracy will chase after it. Picked it up. And handballed it off to Mitch Tracy to a teammate. That was Lee, who sends a high ball back to where it came from. Sandhurst have got the numbers. I'll chip it into the middle of the
Ooh,
ground.
that's a dangerous ball.
Intended the target was Worm, but it didn't quite make it to him. Here's a chance for the Bulldogs if they're good enough. Morecambe gets it. Fires at Goldwoods. Misses. So 4-5-29 now Golden Square. 7-1-43 Sandhurst. 15 minutes played in the third quarter. Thanks to Priority One Property.
A very fiery tussle this in the second half.
Andy Collins, it had been boiling all day, that Andy Collins. That was the 4th or 5th incident I reckon he's been involved in. So in the end, I guess the umpires probably just had enough.
Dragons bring it in. It was a little dangerous, but the mark is taken by Wilkinson. He's 35 from the goal he's defending. The margin is 14 in favour of Sandhurst. We are midway through the third quarter. The kick is a good one for Down. Can't quite hold the mark. Well done by Zimmer. Got a handball to Rhodey. His handball was poor. Cut off by Eaton of Golden Square. Set it up to the attacking 50. And the mark is taken by, is that Morecambe?
No, Braden Vaz.
Yeah, good on you. So Vaz, he's going to float it into the forward pocket for Burke. Can't take the mark. He's been well held today. Ireland at the back for Sandhurst. He wants the boundary line and he'll find it. And the umpire says, throw it in. So it's 25 around from the square attacking goal. And they badly need one. In fact, they are goalless this quarter after 16 minutes. The Dragons have added 3.
Yeah, to capitalise
In
here,
fact, 2 the Dragons have added. So it's 2-0 this quarter.
So thrown in, and it ends in the hands of Jake Thrummer, who's just pounced upon by a pack of dragons. Is there a collective?
What do you call a pack of
Is there
dragons?
a collective noun for a pack of dragons?
I don't know. That's way beyond my pay grade, Cameron.
So the ball inside forward 50. Can they try and snag another goal? Trav Baird's down there. Ball spills out. then come straight back in and we'll do it all again. See if you can get us out of this, Ronnie.
Breakfast announcers and taxi drivers don't really know too many words, Cameron. Get in, get out, pay up.
Turn here, turn there.
No, that's what they tell me. Tossed up. Compton got it down. Paul Pratt had his kick smothered. Big down on hands and knees. Tries to knock it to a teammate. Still in the forward pocket. Oh, that's a very heavy bump.
And
That was a very heavy bump on McLean. He got taken very high.
Oh.
And it is on for young and old. Just about all are involved this time. And McLean's still laying on the ground. The trainers are coming out to him. He had the ball. He turned and he was met with a very high hip and shoulder. I can't tell you who the player was who hit him, but McLean went down very, very heavily and is still on the ground with the trainers around him. So he won the free kick, so to speak, but he's in a bit of trouble, Josh.
He's back up now.
He's a pretty tough customer, Jake McLean.
Still a bit of push and shove going on at the back of the pack as well. Hamish Morecambe certainly loves to get involved in it.
Travi and Skinny in bed. Back away.
So the umpire, he's not going to bounce it, surely. Surely it was a free kick.
It's a free kick.
Yeah, they're just waiting for the player to come off the ground.
Just holding his shoulder a little there, is he?
No, he's got the trainer's holding something to his head. He might have a bit of
claret.
Bit of claret, I reckon. He's walking off the ground surrounded by trainers.
It was a good bump.
Wow, was it?
Wow.
You can't hit a bloke high like that,
No, you
Cameron.
can't, but it was a solid bump.
Well, I don't know that it was intentional. I would say that because McLean was sort of turning his body when he won the footy, but geez, it was a heavy, high bump. And tell you what, Josh, in the AFL, that'd be have 3 weeks off.
Yeah, it would be.
I don't know about the local league here, but 3 weeks off in the big time. And the free kick is with the Dragons in the back pocket. 7-1-43 Sandhurst. 4-5-29 Golden Square. We played almost 19 minutes, thanks to Aussie disposals, and it will be a long quarter with all these stoppages.
You can hear the round of applause going on is because Jake McLean has just taken his hands away from the trainers and jogged off to the bench himself.
Good on him.
Told you,
A face full of blood.
Another Sandhurst player down, though. That's
a face full of blood.
He might be able to come back on. They'll clean him up and hopefully he'll be able to come back on.
Has he got to do the concussion test now? Or?
I'm not sure about that.
Work the ball forward. What day is it? Who are you playing? How old are you? As the ball comes forward, Matt Thornton for Sandhurst. Down the line he goes. Lee comes in and a push in the back will be a free kick going the way of the Dragons. They'll take the advantage. Kick. Lockie Zimmer. It ended up okay because it found its way towards Cal Press, who fed off a handball. He got it back to Callum Press. Then he just shoveled it wide and said, Joel Wharton, you can have it. I don't want it. Wharton then gives the handball off to Pelprat. He'll send it towards the top of the goal square. It bounces. And I think Golden Square are content to see it through for a minor. And they'll quickly bring the ball back into play as well. 4-5-29, 7-2-44. 20 minutes gone, third quarter, thanks to Aussie disposals.
Draper ran his full measure. In fact, I reckon he might have ran a bit more than his full measure at half back. And the umpire has said just that. It's a free kick to the Dragons. So it will go to Ruff, Isaac Ruff. Has it on the 50.
It's a rough game.
It's been a rough day all round.
Okay.
Has he got the leg? He'll have to kick at 55 metres. You wouldn't think going to the Barnard Street end. He realises that and just floats it towards the top of the goal square. Big disposal by Compton. The ball picked up and just hacked out of defence. Leading it full-chested was Ireland. Couldn't control it. Kicked off the deck for the Bulldogs. Out towards this broadcast wing. Again, the Dragons try and come through with Wilkinson toe poking it down the line. Roddy comes in, but he can't keep it alive. Pushed over the boundary line by a couple of defenders. We've got to throw in.
Number 33. Throw-ins.
7-2-44, the Dragons. Golden Square 4-5-29. 21 into the third. Golden Square still goalless this quarter.
So ball thrown in. They'll send it forward Sandhurst through Zach Paulpratt.
Good mark.
You think Golden Square have to use the advantage of having 3 extra players at the moment.
Been all right, Jed Zimmer today.
Zimmer's got it. He'll chip a short ball off the
mocker on him.
I think. Yeah, Tracy's able to knock it down towards Donegan. Donegan will send it in the middle. Hamish Morecambe thumped it forward beautifully. I don't know if he meant it for Trav Baird. He slips and he slides. He picked it up nicely. Gave the handball to Barrett. Barrett sends it inside forward 50. That's Drew. Grimsby came out. He almost ran.
Great spoil.
He almost had
Probably
his head
stiff there.
bump into the legs of Jaden Burke.
Marty Layden just got a fist in
yeah.
and knocked, looked at all you like. He was going to mark that ball.
So 21 minutes down, that means Andrew Collins was sent off in the 13-minute mark for people that are just joining us as well. So he's currently off the ground, as well as Jake McLean, and Blair Holmes is done for the day with a lower leg injury. So they're against the odds in terms of numbers. Sandhurst will try and bring it out of defence. Handballing ball comes off hands and out of bounds for a boundary throw in.
Stagg continues to work hard in tight, in close. Almost cleared that ball, not quite. Margin is 15, which is a pretty good lead under the conditions. Throw in favour of Sandhurst. Down, got it down. There's Stagg again. Tackled this time though, lost it. Barrett dives in on top of it for Golden Square, knocks it to Draper. Held up in the tackle by about 3 or 4 tacklers. The umpire said no one's getting out of there. I'll toss it up. Just haven't been able to get any fluency inside 50 in this quarter, Josh, Golden Square.
No, they definitely haven't. Jack Geary swooping around here.
So it'll be a throw up
Needs
right
to
on the
stand up.
50
Good opportunity for Jeremy Rohde playing on Jack Geary too.
for Golden Square. Down, got it down. The handball's fed to Draper. Under a fair bit of pressure, he's coughed it up. Worm. Tackled and brought down. Umpire said holding the ball. Good tackle there by Hamish Morecambe. And he will get a shot at goal, although he is hard on the boundary on the 50.
Heavy football.
Take a really special kick here deep in the forward pocket. 50 from home, where the old rotunda used to be.
Left footer, right footer?
I think he's a right footer, isn't he? I'll
Yeah.
tell you in a minute.
Yep.
He is a right. Tell you what, that's a lovely ball off the boot. Has it got the carry? I think it's a goal.
He's got
And
it.
did they need it?
Yeah.
Beautiful kick by Hamish Morecambe.
Yeah, and he went and gave Ben Worm one as well after he kicked a goal. So Hamish Morecambe.
Well, they badly needed a goal. We'd been saying it. They hadn't scored one this quarter, the Square. They move along to 5-5-35 on the back of that Morecambe goal. Sandhurst 7-2-44, 23, almost 24 minutes into the third quarter, thanks to Holden Colorado at Poyser Holden.
Yeah, definitely a much needed goal there for Golden Square. Hamish Morecambe, beautiful kick. It just, I wrote him off actually, boys. I didn't think he was going to make the distance at all, but it's just popped over the line and through for a major. 9 points of difference.
Puts a bit of
Sorry, 11
pressure.
points of difference.
Puts a bit of pressure back into the contest. You're right the first time, weren't you? I know it is 11. No, it's 9. 9, you're right the first time.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Can one of you just tell us what the margin
year
is?
10 was the
the
best 4 years of our lives, wasn't it,
Yeah,
Josh?
it was. Yeah.
All goes up.
Same school as Jock Clark.
Going forward,
I think Jock's got us covered.
you see Jock's got the old marks across the fingers where the ruler used to hit him. That's how
I'll
long
tell you
ago
what,
he was back.
You
at
didn't
school.
know you went to school if you didn't have the strap a couple of times, Cameron. You wouldn't know much about that.
So no,
You
nowadays
probably should have got it though, I'd reckon.
Nowadays, you can't even yell at a student. As the ball goes forward, can Golden Square try and get the handball? Compston did.
Oh,
Might have been a player gone to groom with that. I think he might have overreacted a little bit, but he's
Nah,
going to
he'll
get a
take it.
free kick.
Brad Eaton.
So Brad Eaton, if you're good enough to do it and get a free kick, then why not? Brad Eaton has it. He'll send it down towards centre half forward. Just feeling momentum starting to get with Golden Square. Burke had a big fly, couldn't take it. It spills
There
out.
they go.
Dale Lowry gives the handball off to captain Jack Geary. Fires it goalwards. Has he got it? No, across the face through for a minor score. Big build up for nothing.
They're just starting to feel that
That's what she said.
those loss of players, I reckon.
5-6-36 Golden Square. 7-2-44 Sandhurst. 25 minutes gone third quarter. Thanks to Priority One Property.
I reckon Sandhurst, they're a couple of men down. We know Collins is off, been sent off, and Blair Holmes gone for the day. And it's just starting late in this quarter to have a bit of an effect as they clear the ball to the outer side. Big down was the target. He couldn't hold on to it, and it goes off his hands and out of bounds. 60 around from the Golden Square goal, swimming pool side of the ground. 7-2-44. Golden Square a 5-6-36. Into red time, well and truly. We're 26 into the third.
That we are as the ball goes out. More players claiming they were tackled without the ball, and the umpire's going to give neither of them the benefit out, and he's
The
going to
old,
take.
the old kicking in danger rule, Josh.
It's gone out the
Don't
window.
see
hasn't
much
it?
of it these days, do we?
So ball up, top of 50. Any goals before three-quarter time would be absolutely massive here as they go inside forward 50 to the Dogs. Ben Worm leads back. He's able to just tap it forward to the advantage of a teammate. Jaden Burke picked it up, gave a handball to Thrum. Thrum will just fire a high ball to the hot spot. Travis Baird's underneath it. Did he take the mark?
nearly.
He might have been edged underneath it. He wasn't, according to the umpire. Liam Island did it really well. And we'll have a ball up, 25 out directly in front from their goal.
Did I love one here, the Square, Josh?
Tell you what, we haven't seen in a while. A bit of a dust up.
Makes a change. Down, knocked it wide. Burke's got it. Tackled, lost it. Dragons with the numbers. The handball comes out. Pressed. Clears the ball to the outer wing for the Dragons. Coming across, taking a good mark. Jonathan Coe. So the square can go back towards the 50. Long ball. Huge pack. Big down. We almost marked it. Not quite. Knock forward for the square, but cut off. Worm. Bit of fancy footwork. Just drops it in short. That was okay. Pressed. Got the handball away. And now they should be able to clear. Wharton got it to a teammate who just hooks it around the body to Zimmer, who'll mark just inside the boundary, swimming pool side of the ground, true wing.
Just a quick update on the netball. In the A reserve, it was Eagle Hawk 41 defeating South Bendigo 25. And in the A grade, which is still in progress, it's Eagle Hawk 26 over South Bendigo 16.
So Sandhurst have worked the ball up the line. They've kicked the ball out of bounds on the full in front of the South Bendigo poolside change room. So they'll bring the ball back into play, Golden Square. 27 and a half gone in the third quarter.
A bloke we haven't seen, I think, who is sitting on the bench a little bit sore and tender is Bear Thornton. So too sure where he's gone.
Everything going against them at the moment. The kick from Drew Barrett wasn't spectacular, but they're able to mop it up and go back to where they came from. And they'll find Jake Thrum on the chest for Golden Square. He's got it.
Could be a reasonably long quarter too, Cameron, with a couple of stoppages and the stoppage for McLean to come off the ground.
Down the line they go. Sandhurst have possession of the ball. Adam Baird made the tackle. No one able to get any clean possession at all. So if that's the case, then that would be Sandhurst operating without a bench at the moment.
Just about.
With Andy Collins. He has been off for 15 minutes now, but it's 15 minutes of game time that he needs to be off. So he'll be off for a couple more minutes yet, but it's been 15 minutes since he was sent off.
So the ball is just forward of the wing for the Dragons. Little kick defensively for Golden Square. Worm standing in the right spot, marks. Just forward of the wing, swimming pool side for the Dragons. And I wind up and go as long as he can. In towards the forward 50. Plenty of square defenders there. Coe leant back, read it best, took the defensive mark. His kick, that's almost a terrific mark by Morecambe. Nolly gathered it with the one arm. In the end, Stagg took it, and his kick's a good one. Mark taken by Prest, and he's about 60 from goal on the outer side, Cameron.
Prest will load the ball inside forward 50 for Sandhurst. He'd love a mark from a teammate here. Ball spills out the back. Lee fed off a handball for Golden Square. It works its way out to Shelton. And Shelton wide. Geary's got it. Goes in ball with a handball to Thrum. Thrum over the top. They've worked their way through this nicely, Golden Square. Then they'll send a high ball down the wing. Can they find a target? Not quite. Ball fisted across the boundary. In fact, it's just kept alive. Well done, Golden Square. They're hugging the boundary. As a result, they've now got options. They'll stream inside forward 50 from Dale Lowry. Looks a bit like a mummy with the head wrapped at the moment. Inside forward 50, just missed. Travis Baird with his kick. It'll be out of bounds for a throw in.
Baird just getting a little frustrated with the entries into the forward line.
So 2-2 to 1-2 this quarter, boys. And Sandhurst, the upshot of that, have an 8-point lead. Almost 30 minutes. Can't be too long to play in this quarter, the third term. Throw in. It's in the forward pocket for the Bulldogs. I'd love one here. Almost siren time. Skinny Baird's under all that, and he's not getting out of there. Tackled by 2 or 3 Sandhurst players, so we'll have a stoppage. Throw up. 30 out from the square goal. Down, got it down. Couldn't find a teammate. Hands and knees. The Dragons get it out towards Stagg. He had his first kick smothered, then got a second swipe at it and got it to half back. Square player dropped the mark, picked up by Isaac Ruff. Cleared it to the outer wing. The umpire says deliberate.
Out of bounds on the
full. It went on the full, did it?
Yeah.
Collins still has 4 minutes plus time on.
All right, so still enough time for the Square to manufacture a score well and truly. They got the ball on the swimming pool wing.
That must mean that we're going to be in for a very long quarter here.
Yeah, well,
because he was sent off 13 minutes in and we're now up to the 37-minute mark. So probably another 3 or 4 minutes left in the quarter by that, I would imagine, as Sandhurst have worked the ball inside forward 50. Golden Square have got it.
Larry,
and a free kick's going to go the way of
Larry.
Dale Larry.
Dale the Axe. Who said there was 3 minutes left in the quarter?
No. I said Andy Collins still has
said there was
4 minutes.
So Dale, the man with the best nickname in country footy, the Axeman, will go back from the boundary. And underneath the scoreboard, this would be a big-time goal if he kicked it. To bring it back to a 2-point margin at three-quarter time. There's a nice hush around the ground.
The best nickname in country football.
I'll see if you can come up with any better. Axeman sounds pretty good. Dale Lowry comes in. On the right. Fires it goalwards and nails it. And Golden Square are back within 2 points. And the bench of Golden Square are running out to get around Dale Lowry. 6-6-42 Golden Square, 7-2-44 Sandhurst. That's a big-time goal from Dale Lowry. So it's a 2-point margin at three-quarter time. It is a big, big, big final quarter to come. One side will be curtains for season 2019. This is 2019 finals football on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Season over for one of these two sides. After this game in about 30 minutes, will it be Sandhurst holding on? Will Golden Square get over the top of them? We're almost ready to go. The umpire in the middle of the ground walks to the centre circle, has a bit of a look around. The spectators have come back out from under cover because the sun is out, and we are ready to get underway for the final quarter of one of these two sides for season 2019. Here's Cam Power to take up the call for the final term.
Back in the middle, we'll grab Josh's comments in the moment. He's spotted something he likes out there.
Sorry, Josh, I wouldn't shut up.
As Compson goes forward, here's a chance. It'll be marked by Morecambe. Spins around, sends a high ball inside forward 50, and a big mark taken early in the last quarter. And it's Jaden Burke has taken it 35 out with not much of an angle.
Well,
but let's hope he's kicking at goals a bit better than what it was earlier.
The sun's come out and Burkey's come out to play.
The sun's come out and someone's lining up at the ice cream van. Oh, no, it's just the owner. Sorry, he's getting back in.
The ice cream van's on the way out. I thought you were going to tell me that one of the Sandhurst injured players is back on the ground or something miraculous had happened. Or you want to tell me the ice cream van.
There's a game of footy on, is there?
Oh,
Forgot
unbelievable.
about that.
What do they say? You pay peanuts, you get monkeys.
Comes
Jaden Burke comes in for goal, fires it high, it swings back in the breeze. It's a big time goal. His first. And Golden Square have hit the front early in the last quarter against an injury-plagued and suspended, well, not suspended, but yellow-carded played Dragons outfit. 7-6-48 Golden Square, Sandhurst 7-2-44. We've played a minute in the final quarter. Thanks to Holden, Colorado at Poyser Holden.
So, a vital first goal of the final term to the Bulldogs, and they wrestle back the lead. Now the Dragons have got to show some real gallantry here. They're under a stack of pressure with a lot of injured players. Up in the ruck down, got it down. Couldn't find a teammate. Lowry comes through for Golden Square. Handball to Geary. Off a step. High ball to half forward. No mark taken. Ball swatted down by the Sandhurst defence. The handball, though, comes back towards Lowry. He couldn't trap it. Lifted for a teammate who was well tackled. And we've got a stoppage. 45 out, directly in front of the Golden Square goal as they attack the Barnard Street end in this last quarter.
2.5 minutes till Andrew Collins can come back on.
And that could be a difference player in the last quarter, Collins, as Jack Geary picks it up. Free kick going the way of Jack Geary. He's going to get a free kick, and he'll go back 50 from home. And in what should be a relatively dry footy now, can go back from 50 metres out.
Now, McLean's back on. A voice from the back of the box tells me that's good news for Sandhurst.
So Sandhurst will be watching this kick of Jack Geary with anticipation. He sends it goalwards, right to the line. It flies. Is that a mark in the goal square? No, touched across the line. Well, people not too happy about that one not being called.
Well, the Dragons bought it out, and then they bought it right out of bounds on the full.
So let's have a look at the score. 7-7-49 Golden Square, 7-2-44 Sandhurst. That's 5 points thanks to Priority One Property.
Mitch Tracy with the footy for Golden Square. Too far out to score, but he'll sit this up towards the hot spot, deep in their forward line. Almost a mark, not quite, for the Dragons defenders. Oh, a player dispossessed and a good tackle. Square have it. Flying shot at goal was smothered. That was by Morecambe. And now the ball goes right across the face of goal and it'll be thrown in. About 25 around from the Golden Square goal, who hold a 5-point lead and doing all the attacking early in this last quarter.
The ball will be thrown back into play. Big moments early in the final quarter of this elimination final.
Oh, that's off the ground.
It's hacked off the ground from Barrett, and it's gone through for a minor score. That makes it an even 6-point margin here. 7-8-50 Golden Square, 7-2-44 Sandhurst. So 6 points the margin thanks to Aussie disposals. We've played 3.5 minutes.
So the Dragons have just got to be careful bringing this ball out. They've coughed it up a couple of times. The short one's okay. And they control it across half back. But not a lot of space to work with. Oh, that's a dangerous kick. Knocked down by Geary. Draper's got it for Golden Square. Got it off to a teammate. Ends up with Adam Baird. Just pops it into the forward pocket. Is that a free kick or mark? It's a ladder. And I reckon it might be Vaz out there, is it, boys? Yep, it is. And he'll take the shot at goal. He's probably about 40 out.
He'll kick from 40.
Bit less, maybe 35, but tight angle. But in bright sunshine now, Braden Vaz has a shot at goal to give his team a 2-goal advantage. And we are just 4 minutes into this final quarter. But Josh, the ball's been all Golden Square so far in this last quarter.
Yeah, it hasn't gone past the centre square.
So Vaz, see what his foot's like. He fires. It looks good. Not problems. Puts it right through. That's his first goal. Golden Square 8-8-56. Sandhurst now 7-2-44. It's a 2-goal lead to the Bulldogs. Thanks to Aussie Disposals. And you are listening to Finals Football on Bendigo's Fresh FM, doing it for our community.
Well, Golden Square really had to capitalise on the guys that are off the field. You look at Bear Thornton off. He's a massive thing down forward. He's a massive loss down there. Collins is just about to come back on. He wouldn't be far off. So
he's just been told that he can come back on the ground now.
Interesting to see what impact he has.
Well, they've got to try and swing the momentum here pretty quick, don't they? It's all been one-way traffic. Late last quarter and early this quarter, it's all been Golden Square.
In the middle we go. Big clearance coming up. And we're not going to get one out of that play because it's going to go straight back to ground. We'll have another ball up. So let's get it back in the middle. Bit of a wet patch there in the middle where the old cricket pitch would be sitting in about 4 or 5 weeks' time.
As Andy Collins looks up to the guys here next to us, the stopwatches, waiting to come back on.
Can only be seconds before he's back on the ground. And here we go. Back in the middle of the ground. Andy Collins is officially back on the ground, ladies and gentlemen. Is that going to be an impact on the game as Adam Baird's gone down and just completely turned black thanks to all the mud on the ground down there. Jumper up his legs, up his arms.
They'll need a good scrub after the game, Cameron, that's all.
Chris Down knocks it down for Sandhurst. Can they win it forward? Jake Thrum, he fell backwards trying to claim a free kick for holding. Umpire said nothing and it will ball it up.
So I think the biggest lead Sandhurst had was 15 points, and now this is Golden Square, I reckon's biggest lead of 12 points. So it has been tight, but gee, the Dragons need a goal.
Nick Stagg tried to crumb it inside forward 50, couldn't quite do it. Spilling out. Golden Square just able to hold things up. Feeding out a handball was good. Going and meeting the possession there was Eaton. He was tackled. But then he got it. Sent it wide, did Brad Eaton. And Joel Walton. Good mark taken by Callum Draper on the far side of the ground. Golden Square have got it. Centre wing position. Pool side here at the Kilio. Bendigo Football League 2019 Elimination Final here on Bendigo's Fresh FM. We're doing it for our community. They send it down the line. No one able to take a clean possession. The mark was dropped. They'll send it forward. Thrum knocks it out. Ball chasing hard towards the boundary, and Sandhurst content to see it over.
They need a goal badly, the Dragons. They've had a decent lead midway through that third quarter, but Golden Square on the back of some injuries and Andy Collins being off the ground have really taken control of the game. Throw in, knocked down by Down. Shark by Stagg, pushed as he got boots to ball. It ricochets. Golden Square get a kick to the top of the goal square. They wanted a free, and they're going to get it.
Push him in the back.
And who's it going to be out there, boys?
The wheels are falling off Sandhurst.
I don't think it's Geary.
Is it?
No, it's for Golden Square. It's Welsh, I reckon.
Oh, blue boots. I just get confused,
So I reckon it's Braden Welsh who's got the free kick. He's only about 30 out in the forward pocket. Oh, it's Brinsmead, is it? We're having a few goes here.
All right. Jock, what are you doing with your glasses back there? We might need them.
Well, watch him on the runway anyway. If he kicks this, it's going to make it pretty tough for Sandhurst.
Look at the stutter on the run-up.
Comes in, fires, and it matters not because he's pushed it across the face. Yeah, you might be right, it might be Brinsmead, but it's either way, it's a behind. 8-9, 57 Golden Square. Sandhurst 7-2-44. We are at the 8.5 minute mark of this final quarter.
It's all over After 10 minutes in the final term, Mount Pleasant 101 defeating Lockington 51, putting them out of the grand final contention.
10 minutes in, I wouldn't suggest it's the end of the game, but I'd say it's very, very close to game over with a lead like that.
Oh, sorry, 10 minutes in, sorry.
Lockie Zimmer will send it forward, and the man that's back on the ground, Andrew Collins, has taken the mark. But I tell you what, whatever the Heathcote League's drinking this weekend, I want some of that. Having that crazy. Colburn Abbon beating North Bendigo comfortably, and now Mount Pleasant beating Lockington comfortably. I can't believe what's going on in that league.
Finals are a different thing.
Maryborough Castlemaine 3/4 time. Trentham 8-5, 53 over Harcourt 5-6, 36. Trentham look to have the game in their keeping.
Got to
Thank you
kick
to
this
Norm
goal.
Jenkin.
This is a must kick, Josh.
Andrew Collins steps in on the runway. He's back on the field. Will Lee stands the mark like a windmill. Collins comes in, never in doubt, slots the goal. And Sandhurst get a big goal, responding goal that is. His first, it's back to 7 points the margin. Sandhurst 8-2-50, Golden Square 8-9-57. We've played 9.5 in the final quarter. Finals footy, we're doing it for our community thanks to Priority One Property.
Well, much needed goal for Sandhurst, and Andy Collins definitely needed one back for his teammates to, obviously been absent for a good 20-25 minutes. So one back for his team. Can they claw it back even further?
Well, they've certainly missed his presence on the ground, that's for sure. So, a vital goal. Next goal, really crucial. Ball knocked down. Big down, had a bit of a fumble. He tried to do his own roving, a la Grundy for Collingwood. Couldn't quite.
He's got
It's
a
in
bit,
the
bit
glue
of a
pot.
Grundy look, actually, hasn't he?
There's a little bit, yeah.
Hair tied back.
And it's in the mud heap in the middle of the ground.
Lovely.
Don't see mud on footy grounds too often these days, do we?
Nah.
Tossed up. Down again. He wanted Stagg. Baird got in the way, got pushed in the back, and he'll get a free kick. Skinny Baird underneath all that.
The ground's surprisingly holding up really well for the amount of traffic it's had on it this weekend.
So Baird in the middle of the ground. He'll be looking to hit a target.
Looking to have a shower with the amount of mud that's on him.
Yeah, well, that's true. As long as the shower's not cold, Cameron. Oh, it's not his best kick. Slewed off the side of his boot. Almost trapped there by Zimmer. Now he's got a problem. Forced to release it, the press by hand. The Dragons bring it down the line. He wants Collins. It slews along the boundary line and rolls out of play. So it's 70 around from the Sandhurst attacking goal. We're 11 minutes final term. Golden Square 8-9, Sandhurst 8-2. It's a 7-point lead to the Bulldogs, thanks to Holden, Colorado, at Poyser Holden.
See, Andy Collins nearly cleaned up Brad Eaton on the bench then. It was completely accidental. He apologised straight away, but that would have... Yeah. Adam Baird gets the clearance off the... Sends it down the line.
Sit under that.
Morecambe goes up, knocks the ball backwards. Chasing after it will be Isaac Ruff. Spills to ground. Golden Square player in Barrett is on the bottom of the pack and will have a ball up. It's a good contest here. 7 points in it. 11.5 gone. Final quarter. Elimination final 2019. Golden Square and Sandhurst. Golden Square player Donegan dives on top of the ball. Oh, yeah, it was very lucky. If he didn't get that out, he probably could have been pinned for holding the ball, but he just gets it out in time. Dale, the Axeman Larry, picks it up. He's tackled. We'll have a ball up.
Golden Square very heavy on the interchange in this last quarter.
Tossed up. Down might have been held. Got a fist to it though. Knocked it forward. Pressed. Works hard. Knocked it forward for the Dragons. Roddy picks it up. Goes to ground. Tackled. Lost the footy. Bulldogs maybe with the numbers here, although the tackle's good on Humphrey. Josh McKee wanted to push in the back against Paul Pratt. Umpire said no, throw it in. 60 around from the Dragons' goal. Gee, another one here would tighten things right up. Cameron?
Absolutely it would, as we're about 60 from home. What will happen in the next 15 to 20 minutes is remain to be seen, but it is going to be exciting either way. Rhodey gets it and sends it inside forward 50 for the Dragons. Sandhurst player Zimmer flew high, couldn't take the mark. It spills out the back, soccering off the ground. It's going to come to Andy Collins. Collins has kicked his second goal, and the Dragons are back within a point. That was well done from Lockie Zimmer just to keep the ball rolling. Collins got away and in the goal square, gets his second goal. That'll be 2 in a row for Andy Collins, and we're back to a point the difference. 9-2-56 plays 8-9-57 in favour of the square. Finals football. We're doing it for our community thanks to Aussie Disposals. But how much is Andy Collins having an influence on this game after being off for 15 minutes?
Well, he's had to, Cam. He's really had to stand up, and that's what good players do. If they need to stand up in time in need, they will do it, and that's what he's done. But he's definitely, I think he owes them one or two more just to get him over the line for that little send-off.
So we've got the close one. We haven't got the only one today, but we got the close one. Stagg off the stoppage. Was he held? The umpire said no. Kick forward for Golden Square by Barrett. Gets it toward half forward and Lowry takes the mark. Swings back onto his right boot and then spears the pass toward half forward. The target out there, almost taking the mark, was Vaz, not quite. The Dragons try and hold it up. They do a pretty good job of it. It's a defensive 50 for Sandhurst, and we've got a stoppage. Throw up. It's directly in front of the square goal, 50 from home.
Cracking game of footy here at the QEO. Ball goes up in the air, down and Compton. It's smashed forward for Sandhurst. Zimmer's there. He's tackled straight away by Mitch Tracy, and we're going to have a ball up. And the Golden Square favourite.
Who's going to win from here, Josh?
Here from Golden Square.
Sitting with Square.
Righto.
I'm going with Sandhurst.
I'm sitting on the
I've
fence.
stuck with Sandhurst all day. Ball coming down. Possibly taken without the ball was Hartley. Advantage Sandhurst. They'll send it forward off the clearance. Going in hard, trying to force the contest for Golden Square. And we'll have a ball up in a dangerous
in
position.
Sandhurst, weren't they? Pressed, almost had the run of the ball and not quite, just held up.
Just feel the momentum's with Sandhurst at the moment.
Middle of the ground, thrown up, down, clean hand on it. Roddy got a poor bounce, Baird's got it. Skinny Baird tackled, brought the ground, coughs it up. Lockie Zimmer can pass it inside 50. Here he is again. That man Collins, this way, that way. He's 40 from home. Hooks it around the body. Will it bounce through? It will!
He's taken the PI55.
The Dragons are back in front. 10-2-62. Golden Square are 8-9-57. 15 gone into the final quarter. Thanks to Aussie Disposals. Tell us about that, Josh McKee.
Well, that's his third in a row there, Andy Collins. Yeah, I said he needs another one or two, and he's just put another one away. Obviously we've said, and we keep saying as before, he did get that yellow card, and he owes his mates a couple. So I think he's done all that and more. But Andy Collins, just slick mover, just had time, space, composure, didn't stress about it much, seen the open goal and took advantage of it.
Yeah, down in the ruck, he's dominating, Cameron, the last 5 or 10 minutes.
He's really gone on top of Compton in this last quarter. Again, he wins another hit down. Geary picked it up.
Holding the man.
Geary without it.
Umpire was blindsided, so we'll have another ball up.
Ooh, Skinny Baird just having a rest on the bench, boys, for the minute.
Yeah, if you're Golden Square, you just have all your guns off for a couple of minutes here and there and get them ready for a big last 5 minutes, because Sandhurst obviously aren't going to have the rotation, so you can have those big players. Look at Hamish Morecambe, Adam Baird currently on the bench, as is Jake Thrum, arguably 3 of their better players, if not 3 of their best players, as it goes wide. But you don't want to concede goals while they're sitting on the bench if you're Sandhurst. They soccer it forward. Lockie Ross is there. He'll tap it forward. Cleverly done. It's picked up by Lockie Zimmer. Zimmer will spin one way. It's a high ball. Not going to go anywhere near the required distance, and it will just be punched over the boundary line and out of bounds for a throw-in underneath the scoreboard.
Geez, another one here would put the cat amongst the pigeons a bit. The margin is 5. Just 5 points. It's been seesawing all day. Sandhurst in front. 17 minutes ticked over in this final quarter. It's in the forward pocket for the Dragons. Throw in. It'll be cleared. Quick kick out of defence. It might have been Tracy, I reckon, who bounced it out towards the boundary line. And over she goes. So a throw in. About 75 around from the Sandhurst goal, swimming pool side. 10-2-62. Sandhurst. Golden Square 8-9-57. And we're ticking up toward the 18-minute mark of this final quarter. Thanks to Priority One Property.
That's not another Sandhurst injury, is it?
Yeah, it
Josh?
is. It doesn't look
Skinny
good.
Wharton, is it?
Skinny Wharton not looking well. Shoulder dragging.
Interestingly
Drippy
enough,
arm,
Jake Condon, who we thought might have been injured, he's out there. So
Meanwhile, Sandhurst have picked the ball up out of the clearance and sent it towards the top of the goal square. Collins again. He almost took the mark. He could have gone back for 4 in a row. Eaton did well. He's able to stream out of defence for Golden Square, and he's just hacked the ball. And it's going to be a downfield free kick, and Ash Connick will be sitting there screaming.
We've seen a lot of
because
that
if he
stuff
didn't push
today.
him, they had all the numbers at the drop of the ball, and that is the biggest get out of jail free card you will see in country footy. It'll be a chance for Dale Lowry to send Golden Square into attack. His kick's even worse than what I just said, but it might work out okay. It's going to come inside from Braden Vaz. Sends it towards the dangerous hotspot. Can Square get something out of this? They spin one way, then the other. Sandhurst defence is desperately defending for dear life. They get the ball. They just hack it as far away from that contest as they can. The boundary line is their friend, and their friend comes to the party.
Their injury woes continue. for Sandhurst, with Alex Wharton coming on, but limping very heavily.
The throw in, 45 around from the Golden Square goal. Oh, that's a high contact. The umpire saw it too. Golden Square free on the 50. And who was underneath? Oh, that's Lowry again. We saw him slot a terrific goal. He's not going to go for goal. He's going to pop it in short. And it's a good kick. And found his teammate.
Vaz.
Again, he's been lively in this last quarter. And Vaz will go back and shoot for goal. He had no issue earlier with the distance. So you'd reckon he'd be every chance of kicking this goal and putting his team back in front. So he comes in. He has taken a fair run up. He'll kick from just inside the 50. Got under it a bit, but it looks all right. It's a goal. Vaz gets his second. And Golden Square back in front, 9-9-63. Sandhurst 10-2-62. Finals football on Bendigo's Fresh FM. We're doing it for our community thanks to Priority One Property.
Yeah, 1 point the margin here at the QEO. It's Golden Square. It's a very tight tussle here, fellas, and we still probably have a good 10 minutes to go, 10, 12 minutes to go in this quarter. So it's going to come right down to the wire.
We've had just about everything weather-wise too, haven't we? But we've got bright sunshine at the moment, which is... The players are certainly handling the ball a lot cleaner since it dried up a bit, Cameron.
The only thing we haven't had is the thunder and lightning like down at the MCDFNL today. Ball goes forward, out of the contest for Sandhurst. Coe's got it. Pounced upon by Stagg. Draper missed it. Here's a chance. It's picked up by Rhodey. That was Vincent. Sends it forward. Collins has been lively in this last quarter. Couldn't quite take the mark. Will Lee gets it, sends it out of defence and finds Captain Jack. Captain Jack thought about giving the handball, decides to steady, and then eventually who is going to handball it to? Ran into a bit of space, he could chip it to him instead. That's Callum Draper. Poolside here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. Callum Draper has it. He'll send it long down the poolside wing. Needs a mark. Got a couple of flyers, but no marks. Sandhurst will then sweat on the ball and get it back. They'll send it inside forward 50. John Coe will take the defensive grab and should relieve some pressure. He'll send it wide where he'll find Welsh.
Has it at half back. Little chip, not a good kick. It'll be cut off. He's been all right, this bloke today, Callum Prest. He's taken the mark for the Dragons. He's on the wing. Closer to the grandstand. Had a bit of a false start. Now he's just going to... Oh,
wow.
That was an interesting effort. He slewed it off the side of the boot. Square defenders through Thrum. Can they cut it off? No. But he knocked it over towards his teammate in Welsh. His handball back to Thrum. And now to Baird. And now to Lowry, and they should be able to clear.
Lowry gives it back to Baird. Baird's got space to work in. He'll send it towards his brother, Travis Baird, who slides in and takes the mark. He wastes no time getting back to his feet. Sends it to the hot spot. Can he get a mark? It goes down. Pack of players fly. Sandhurst will get the ball at the drop of the fall. They'll send it wide. Oh! He's missed the ball. And now a chance for Thrum to snap a big-time goal. It's gone right to the line.
Cut off.
Oh, defensive mark on the last line of defence for the Dragons. Has this game got any more things to throw up? This is an absolute cracker. And they'll clear it out of defence towards Jed Zimmer.
No mark. Prest had his kick smothered. Goes again on hands and knees. Held up in the tackle. Umpire said, mine, boys.
I think Travis Baird might have broken his schnoz here. Just a bit of a headbutt back. So not intentional.
So the ball's...
I thought he threw his head back trying to draw a free kick.
Half forward for Golden Square and the half forward flank, if you like. On the main broadcast or main grandstand side of the ground. Knocked to the deck. Oh, that might be a high tackle. Now it's a Golden Square free. Getting to his feet and going to take the ball is Liam Barrett.
Liam Barrett wastes no time sending it inside forward 50. Oh. Good lead and mark taken. And they will line up for goal. 45 out directly in front. Hamish Morecambe. What a quarter he's had.
Been good.
Been very lively. So Skinny Baird. Skinny Baird's been good.
So Hamish Morecambe to give the Dogs a 7-point lead late in the final term comes in and misses.
Wow.
But I guess the result of that is the ball is up the wrong end of the ground.
Yeah, it's a real let-off.
9-10-64 Golden Square, 10-2-62 Sandhurst, 23 minutes gone. Final term, thanks to Priority One Property.
Just over the netball, A grade. Final scores, Eagle Hawk 43 defeating South Bendigo 33.
Paul Pratt, long from the defensive goal square. Almost getting hold of it was Zach Paul Pratt. Couldn't clear it. We've got a stoppage. So it's between, it's forward of centre half back for Golden Square.
Just in the A-Res, it was Eagle Hawk over 41 over South Bendigo 25.
Got a clean hand on it, then down, knocked it down, but Thrum leads the race. Might have got a push, no free. Roddy
bang.
met high, no free. Chance for Lockie Zimmer, picks it up, and then just chip passes it towards his, skipper in Collins, but couldn't trap it.
Here's a chance.
Now there a chance. Press, can he break the tackle? No. Dragged down. The ball's in the forward pocket for Sandhurst. Snapped at goal by Lockie Ross. Won't have the leg. It goes toward the boundary off the defender's hands and out of play.
So Press should have just had a flying shot then. If he kicks them even a point, well, then against a 2-point margin, so...
I don't know, Cameron. I think you're, when it comes down to this close, there's a lot of decisions that can be looked at either way. But
24 minutes down in the final term. It's hacked out of the ruck contest and back over the boundary line. Sandhurst work their way 5 metres closer. This is an absolute thrilling game of footy.
2 points.
Neither side deserves to lose the contest. It's been one of those games, but one of these sides is going to have to bow out this afternoon. The other sets up a clash with Gisborne next Sunday afternoon. Ball knocked down. That was well done by Down. Rhodey's in there. Thrum got it. Partially smothered by Collins, who fed a handball out. Press picks it up, then gives a handball off to a teammate. That teammate was Worm, who was tackled straight away.
Good tackling by Golden Square. That was good pressure.
Just out in the Heathcote District League, final scores: Mount Pleasant 15-12, 102. Benny Waitman kicking 6 and Green with 3, defeating Lockington. Bemore United Cats 11-12, 78. Gardner kicking 4. So Lockington are out of that chase.
Chance for Worm off the stoppage, kicks it inside 50 for Sandhurst, but running back with a flight. That was a terrific mark by Jake Thrum for Golden Square. So he can just take his time. It's a 2-point game, Golden Square lead. We are 25 minutes into the final quarter. Thrum called to play on, goes down the line towards the wing. Bit of pushing and shoving. No mark taken. At ground level, Sandhurst toe poke it forward almost to the 50. Lowry upended, trying to come through with Zach Paul Pratt, dragged down in the tackle. I said holding the ball. He didn't have much opportunity.
He really had possession of the ball.
Big ruckman Down is not looking well.
He's a
because
bit
he was
stiff.
pushed off the ball and
The
didn't
free
get a
kick is with Golden Square. Dale Lowry has it at half back.
Yep, we're not umpire bashers here. Dale Lowry has possession of the ball across centre half back where there can't be long to go. He'll go short and find a teammate. That is Ryan Hartley. 26 minutes has just ticked over in the final term. Golden Square lead by 2 points. Hartley's going to take as much time as he can before just sending it down the grandstand side wing. It comes high. Downs made a miraculous recovery. Sends it forward. Baird picked it up. He was tackled. And we'll have a ball up.
Maybe one last roll of the dice for the Dragons, but they need to get the ball forward quickly. It's on the wing. The margin is 2 points in favour of Golden Square. Throw up, down, had a good last quarter, got it down, pressed, forward handball to Rhodey. That was good work. He tried to handball it forward too, but it's been cut off. Thrum's been good in this last 5 minutes. Took the footy, still got plenty of run in his legs. Touches it down, then kicks it towards half forward. Big leapers required, no mark taken. The Bulldogs get a kick forward. That was through Morecambe, and the mark is taken by the big fella there in Hartley. He is 50 from home. Goes long, he wants Burke. Up he goes, can't take the mark. Draper! Goal! Off the pack. Read that beautifully, Callum Draper, and he's put it right through the middle. And that may give Golden Square a win in this elimination final. They go to 10-10, 70, Sandhurst 10-2, 62. Thanks to Holden, Colorado. At Poyser Holden, we've got 5 minutes left, have we? 5 minutes left, Josh McKee.
Well, it's a long time in footy, isn't it? And for one of these teams, and at the moment looking like Sandhurst,
tell me, is the 6-6 rule in play here, or can you Golden Square send players back into defence?
No. I think there's no 6-6-6.
No here.
So there you go, Cameron. So into that,
Golden Square would send all their players down into defence if they were smart. Into the middle we go. Rhodey couldn't get a hand on it. Adam Baird got it. He was met hard as he delivered the kick. Chris Down gets it. Just sends it forward off a punch. Lockie Zimmer chases. It comes over the top. It's picked up by the Dragons. They go inside forward. 50. Great diving mark. That's terrific. Travis Baird.
Hit his head on the ground pretty hard too.
He just stuck one hand mid out and it landed in the mid. If it didn't land in his mid, he probably would have fallen and Sandhurst would have had a chance for goal. He'll relieve some pressure. He goes short to John Coe. Coe will try and clear their way out of defence for Golden Square. He's kicked it out of bounds. Just in the play. Or just in the field of play. We've ticked over 28 minutes in the final term. Sandhurst trailing by 8 points.
Golden Square have put Travis Baird back in defence, that loose man.
So throw in, it's an 8-point lead to Golden Square. Down, first hand on it. Tracy's got it. He can't control it. And it goes out of play.
Only one player in the forward half for Golden Square as well, and that's Jaden Burke, and he's up in the centre circle now.
So it's only, 30 metres around from the Sandhurst goal. They need to score quickly, though. They're 8 points in arrears. The ice cream man said he's had enough. He's shut shop. As it's right down where he is, Roddy pushed his opponent out, tried to make some space, dives in on top of it, held up by 2 or 3 defenders, and the umpire says, give it to me.
He would have lost money today, the ice cream man, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I know how he feels. Cameron?
Cameron, there was 10 people walking past here before you said.
I think he might have been making that up.
I'm not even going to bother commenting. Back in the footy, here we go. Golden Square send it out from John Coe. It just dribbles off the side of his boot out of bounds for a boundary throw in, but the time is tick, tick,
I think they might be doing enough,
away.
Josh.
I reckon Golden Square might just have done enough. The Dragons are going to have one last hurrah if they're lucky. They will throw the ball in, 70 out from home, but you just think they need to possibly score off this passage of play here. Ball thrown into play. Can they do something with it? It'll be a free kick, and it's going to go to the Dogs. And that is a coach killer if you're Ash Connick giving away a free kick in that situation.
So who's got the ball, Cameron?
On the far side of the ground, Golden Square have got possession. Pull side. They'll send a high ball down the pull side wing.
No free.
Ball out the back. Can Sandhurst get it back and force themselves?
Ronnie?
What's that?
Someone wanted that push in the back.
Yeah, I think it might have been Bernie Haberman.
Free kick going the way of Golden Square. They might just about done enough. 8 points with 30 minutes gone in the final term. They send a high ball inside forward 50. Fly was wanted at the back of the pack. The mark's been taken. And if the umpire wasn't going to pay it, he just stuck his hand up in the air and said, I'm going to take it no matter what. Jake Thrum will go back to give Golden Square a win in the elimination final. And that will set them up a date with Gisborne next week if he's good enough.
Well, they're pretty undisciplined, Sanders, and I think it's come back to bite him a bit. Let's see if Thrum can thread this one, Cameron.
So Jake Thrum.
The beautiful goal earlier
He's
today.
hard up against the boundary line. He comes in. He sticks with his trusty left and misses everything.
Oh.
There you go.
Out
the mods right on him.
bounds on the full.
I think they've done enough.
Yeah, I think they might have too.
There might be time for one last roll if you're Sandhurst.
We've crossed the 31-minute mark. It can't be long to play.
They will just send a high ball down the pull side wing. Down Flew couldn't take the mark. Geary's there, knocks it to ground. And Golden Square just doing enough to hold possession and not force Sandhurst through. They fought on to turn over Rhodey, who had to get an absolute shocker of a handball that went straight in the air. Square send it into the pocket. Now they're going to have to lead out towards the boundary line. It's come off. And is it out of bounds?
They want it deliberate.
The crowd behind their goals goes up like a tsunami down there, Ronnie. They are up and about. I think Golden Square have just done enough.
I don't think that was a free kick. Throw in, it's in the forward pocket. It's wrong into the ground for Sandhurst. Rucks wrestle down. May have had the best of it, does his own roving. Now he's caught with the footy underneath him.
Oh,
Roddy might have been in the back of his opponent. The umpire said no, I'll stop it. Have another stoppage.
If it was one score, you'd give him a chance, but two, it's got to have to find
I think
a minimum of 2 scores. They're up the wrong end of the ground on the opposite side of 32 minutes. Ball follows around like a volleyball machine. Brimsmead gets it, sends a high ball back in towards the pocket for Golden Square. Unable to take the mark, ball spills to ground. Big pack of players dive on top of it. And that will be a ball up.
Well, again, it's the wrong end of the ground as far as Sandhurst fans go. Knocked to the deck. Golden Square looking for the knockout blow. They might need it. Geez, no one's getting out of those tackles. A lot of heavy tackling going on. Captain Jack had it, but he couldn't break clear. It's hard on the boundary in the forward pocket. Deep in the forward line for Golden Square. Again knocked down. Lowry tries to break a tackle. Got a handball away. Morecambe pushed as he got boot to ball. Spills out the back. Thrum again. Fires at goal. Has he got the distance? No. To the forward pocket it goes. Again, the Sandhurst defenders do okay, but it brings back. Snap at goal. by Morecambe across the face. Now maybe Sandhurst can clear the footy. They've got to be very quick about it though. The kick wasn't really very good, didn't travel far. Again, the Bulldogs work it back inside 50. Lowry tries to bust his way through a couple of heavy tackles. He's not getting out. We've got a stoppage, Cameron. But we have played almost 34 minutes. Siren due any time.
Yeah, I reckon that Sandhurst timekeeper might be trying to hold out for as long as he can. Ball thrown up. Every single player on the ground is basically inside forward 50. Flying shot at goal from Golden Square through for a minor. But Sandhurst will get the ball back. They'll need to be quick. 10-11-71, 10-2-62, 34 and a half gone, final quarter. We are loving finals football and doing it for our community thanks to Priority One Property.
So the kick in is by Wilkinson.
Why wouldn't he just go the tube straight down the middle of the ground? The fastest way to goal is down the middle of the ground.
He had two teammates and they managed to make a mess of it. And the ball went over the line and out of play, but it's still in the Golden Square forward half. It'll be thrown in on their 50.
Every player is dreaming of that situation and that just to get the ball and send it long down the guts and try and get the ball back. Not chipping it to the boundary line. Forces another stoppage. Golden Square will send it inside 50. It'll be picked up by Morecambe. He'll fire it on goal for the sealer. Hamish Morecambe has kicked goal number 3 for Hamish Morecambe. It's a superhuman effort from him. He is an absolute superstar.
Superhuman.
11-11-77 Golden Square. Sandhurst 10-2-62. And with 35 minutes gone in the final quarter, I'm going to safe to say that it is curtains.
I reckon that's his second goal.
I thought it was his second, but you were holding up 3 at me. Unless you're giving me the gang signs.
I reckon you need your eyes tested seriously.
Finals footy. Bendigo's Fresh FM. We're doing it for our community and loving it. Thanks to Priority One Property.
Well, this is the longest quarter in the history of the world, Josh. What's going on here? It's 35 minutes. I know we've had a few goals scored.
You definitely helped.
The ice cream man has had enough. He's off.
Yep. Condon gets the clearance out of the middle for Sandhurst. Now there's a whistle, and it's a Bulldogs free kick. And it's coming back here to Lockie Humphrey, a true centre-half back. But it's probably all academic now. He spreads the ball wide, and he finds his teammate out there, and Mitch Tracy, who's got it for Golden Square. They lead by 15 points. As they just share it around across their half-back line. Trev Baird, only 25 from the goal. He's defending, takes the mark.
That's the siren, and that siren signals the end of season 2019 for the Sandhurst Dragons. Some would say better luck next year. While for Golden Square, they will march on and meet Gisborne in the Battle of the Bulldogs next Sunday back here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. So that is full time. Golden Square 11-11-77. They have defeated Sandhurst 10-62. That would be a margin of 15 points in what was probably the biggest margin of the day, I'd suggest. It's been
for Golden Square. Yeah, Sandhurst led by 15 points in the third quarter as well. So
been an absolute fantastic game of footy.